Hey everyone. We were having so much fun playing that we almost forgot about you. So my apologies for being just a little bit late. Um, so it looks like Archon Azrael redeemed first today, and so he's there. And Fredable says hello, and a crying face. Okay. Zero or Betty. That's cool. Says yo. Be interesting to know where you're from, Cyril. So first time chat from Fail Error 81 says, "What's up, Doc?" That's cool. First time chat from you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And so, well, we're ramping up now. We've got 4 viewers on Twitch and 8 viewers on YouTube. Louis Karen says hello. Good to have you. Good to have you. Oh, so okay, Alexa's here. Subscribed to Tier 1 for 5 months, currently on a 4 month streak. Fantastic. Fatal Error. Okay. Fatal Error is the way to pronounce that. 81. Good. Thank you for correcting me. Alexa says, "Hi, Doc and Robert. My 5th month sub anniversary today. Can't believe it's been 5 months already. Kevin, me, and JoJo got the power train running yesterday. 6 of them, in fact. Fantastic. Cesar Curicis. Okay. I'm probably massacred that name. Sorry. Says hello. So basically, what we're doing, we just installed a mod. Have to confess, we installed a mod, the Infinite Elevator mod, because we have a Gigafactory that's of infinite size, it seems, and the current elevator size just would not support the height that we wanted to have. So we were in the process of just kind of deciding where we wanted to place the elevator that would go from the very bottom floor all the way up to the top, and hit the key floors in between. So we're excited to do that, and we were just cranking away, and then I realized, oh, 9:02. How about if we start the stream? So, no, we really didn't forget you, but we forgot you. So,
I just didn't want to stream today. I thought Doc and I were just going to hang out.
and that would be fun too. So, okay, we're at 1,319 followers. Um, so that is way cool. It continues to go up. Um,
That's on YouTube? Or, sorry, on Twitch?
that is on Twitch.
Nice.
1,319 followers on Twitch. We have a new tip coming out today at 9:15, so about 6 minutes from now, coming out, and that one is on what? Oh, when to build a mega factory? Because I get that question a lot. When should you build a mega factory? And that short answers that question. So um, we're working on several videos right now. I think do we have 2 Doc University ones in the can already? Or is it one?
We have one.
Okay.
We have one in the can, but then we also have a Minecraft video in the can. And because tips that are in seven, we just reached 74. That means our tips compilation video will be coming out next week.
Yeah.
Our third one.
So, so anyway. Okay, Silty Roach says, "Hello, Doc, and my friend. Just finished Satisfactory the first time. Shorts helped a lot. Good luck with the Gigafactory." Yeah, thank you, thank you. Congrats on finishing the game. I'm reluctant to finish the game. Notice Phase 5 is sitting up there as the next milestone.
It's down there
Completed
for the
all the
last
tiers.
200 hours of gameplay.
Pardon me?
It's been sitting there for the last 200 hours of gameplay.
Probably. And Control Alt Bang. Okay, that's a control and an alt and an exclamation point. Love your videos, Doc. You're my favorite Satisfactory YouTuber. Well, thank you. That's nice to say. I appreciate that. Appreciate you coming to and seeing me for a bit in a live stream too. That's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and go to the factory, Robert. Let's
Alexa also gave a message when she subbed. She says, "Can't. It's my 5th month sub anniversary
uh-huh.
today. Can't believe it's at 5 months already." Also, Kevin and Jojo and Alexa got the powertrain running yesterday. 6 of them running, in fact.
Fantastic.
So
Fantastic.
yeah,
I had already read that one.
you did. Okay.
Yes, I
Well,
had.
I must have been too having too much fun blowing stuff up in the basement. So let's take you to the stream.
Blowing stuff up.
Yeah. There was
Let you alone, and then you do those kind of things. Just okay. Good heavens. Okay. So where are we going to put this elevator, Robert? I'm in the logistics floor. We've got your other floor below.
Yeah, you
Where
got to
we're
come down
bringing
even
in
farther.
where we're bringing in the train here. The question we have then, the question that needs to be answered then is where do we want to? I'm not quite
Got to
over
come down
front.
even farther.
Pardon?
Got to come down even farther.
What do you mean? Got to come down farther?
You got to go down farther.
Okay, and what's going to be clear down here? Whoa! What's going to be clear down here?
This is where I put the experiments.
The experiments?
Yeah.
And you want an elevator that touches clear down to here?
Yeah.
All right, well, give me a floor over here.
Yeah, this is at the far end of here is where I have all the blueprints.
Okay.
Blueprinters.
So, do we want to start it here and go up the glass?
Yeah, I think in the very corner would be really cool.
Okay.
So how about this? You you have to start it. You have to fly all the way up here.
Yeah.
Before you can finish it, just because there's no way you're gonna hit it right without flying up there.
Okay, we need power down here so we can use the hover pack.
Sure. I have my jetpack on right now, so let me just grab a line, bring it down for you.
Boy, this looks like no man's land.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, to get rid of fog, it's what?
Tilde,
Uh-huh.
then r.fog equals 0.
Nope. Tilde, r dot fog, space 0. Yes, space 0, not equals. Okay, so we're going to put it right here in the glass.
Well, space
corner.
equals space 0. That's what I normally do, but sure.
Okay. I'm going to just check
You
something.
should now have electricity.
Okie dokie. So the elevators are found in transport, aren't they?
Yes, sir. Archon says, Robert, do you consider Garrett one of those experiments?
Okay, so it is only one block. Do I consider Jared one of those experiments?
Well, that containment failed a long time ago, unfortunately.
Okay, so the elevator does only take one
Yep.
block. So what I want to do is I want to go here and I want to fly all the way up to make sure I don't have any obstructions.
And Call Me Doc says, Hi, Doc. Hello.
Looks like Ben is here too.
Yep.
Look at all this clear glass. We're going to be able to see all these things as we go up the elevator. Solar Flare says hello. And you want to communicate with Solar Flare what our decision was this morning?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Slothler says, My factory is just a layer down on the ground with no foundation.
Yeah, that's the way we all start. Okay, so we want it to come up to this top floor here, and basically put a Okay, put a final station right here. So it's all clear, Robert. So I'm going to come back on down and I'm going to start building her up. Man, I can't fall fast enough. I love the view though. Boy, all this infrastructure is going to go away because of the elevators. All this stuff that Garrett built all the way up there. And that.
And 98 says, good morning. Hope everyone's having a wonderful morning.
We are.
Yeah.
Because I'm being able to stream with you guys. That's what makes it wonderful. All right.
So Volocrum says, why though? It's a relic of the past. What's a relic of the past? Were you talking about Garrett's hypertubes?
Okay. Okay, which way do you want the exit to the elevator facing? Do you want it facing that direction, or do you want to face it
Let's do that direction right there.
Second
North.
direction? Okay. Yep. All right, let's see.
Gold Shake says, good day, Doc. Love your YouTube videos. Have helped me heaps. First time I managed to watch live. Keep up the great content. Yes, Volocrum, it can. That's one of Garrett's things when he gets back on. He's going to be significantly reducing it. It's too bad because it looks awesome. I love the look of the hypertube system, but it's definitely been made very redundant. So.
And the hypertube system is great until you unlock elevators.
Yeah. Now, the elevators are very slow. But we're going to replace... He was going to have to build one elevator system for every single floor. Now it's just one elevator system, period.
Oh, this is awesome. 290, 300 meters.
By the way, guys, we installed infinite elevators.
350 meters.
Volocrum says, lay down, cry,
meters.
sit on the elevator, and watch the sunset. Then tear it down. Yeah.
Okay. Now I need to...
Now you need to fly out of the elevator so you can do it. Because you're in the way.
I need to make sure that I hit the right key. Right.
You shouldn't have hit any key because you were in the middle of it.
Yes, I had to move, which means I had to hit WASD, one of the...
Oh, okay.
But I got the wrong one.
So as somebody said, you could just double tap C and you'll just start falling. And then just press space to catch yourself later. And you'll get down much faster.
Thank you. I'll try this again.
Oh, you can hit. Oof. Okay, now hit space before you hit the ground or else you're dead. There you go. And you should probably heal up.
Yep, I should probably heal up. I don't... Oh, there's medicinal inhaler. All right. Okay, try this again.
Yeah, Riley K. This is specifically... We got the infinite elevators mod so we could handle this height. It is not nearly that tall normally. So...
Nope, it doesn't normally go to this height. So Gold Shake, is that the question you answered?
I'm not sure exactly what Gold Shake's asking.
Is there not a vertical build more for elevators? There is a vertical limit. Normally, yes. Alexa just said it's 196 meters, and we are currently at 250. Now at 300 coming up here in a moment. You can see the amount of the Gigafactory that still is left to be built out. Cool. going to be producing so much stuff.
And you notice we have, for every floor, we had 2 logistics floors. And we don't need 2 logistics floors anymore.
Yeah, which
But
means
oh
we just
well.
get rid of the middle one and
I think we should just leave it. Oh, keep going.
what do you mean keep going? It should meet
Oh,
the floor about right there, shouldn't it?
gosh. Do I need to go up there so I can build out a... I think I need to come over there so I can build a foundation directly to there so we know.
I think it's right there. But yes, if you want to come build out a floor so I make sure I don't miss it,
Yeah, I don't have to do this
I'll
again.
just not touch any key here.
Bratz says, "Holy Doc, how long have you played on this world?"
This world we could check here in a moment.
Yeah, it's been 2 of us for the entire time and 1 person for quite a bit of it as well. So,
Yep, it is in the right place. Okay, good to go.
go for it.
Now all we have to do is build stops on the
And
critical.
wait for 5 minutes for it to build
Yep.
all the way up.
So
And Goldshake just subscribed on Twitch.
okay, so where's the elevator?
You got to press the button to call the elevator, and it's going to take an hour.
No,
Oh, it needs power.
Okay. It's not pressing.
You need power.
Oh, okay, fine. What are you doing with that thing in your hand?
I was clearing brush.
Okay, go clear. Oh, please. Did you put that on me? Ouch. Okay, Robert. What is the deal with this particular blinky one here?
It's at the same Z height as the pillar below it. So it's something I can fix when I get back up there.
Okay.
And 98 just resubscribed with Prime. He says Prime subs are free.
Yes, Prime subs are free for you guys. You got 1 a month that you can throw our way, and I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a choice of whoever you watch. So,
And Chingo says, Doc, I think you left some guts behind on the floor.
probably. It just takes no guts to do what I'm doing, so I can leave it there. So today is my birthday, Volcrum. Happy birthday to you. And a server that I'm active in decided to make a global announcement. A server has 15,000 people. Okay. Robert, are you powering it up down below? Or do I need to fly down there and get it powered up?
I don't know. Yes, I'm going to power it up from below. It just means I have to break through a floor to do so. That's fine. I go do all the hard work. That's all right.
I mean, I think I've got a power knob right here that I could... I can power it up here too.
No, it's already done.
Already done? So we are at 476 meters. That's the name of the stop. I can call the elevator now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, 15,000 happy birthdays to Volcrum, plus an additional, I don't know, 40 or so from us.
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
The question is this elevator coming or is this not functioning?
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, it is coming? It was moving?
Yep.
Okay, you saw it moving.
I hopped in the elevator and now I'm trapped in here for the next 10 minutes.
Is it really going to take 10 minutes to go that far?
Not quite.
That is a lot of messages going back. Hopefully you have a thank you on copy and paste. Someone else decided to do it. Thanks, Gloomy. There it comes.
Ugh, I almost ran out
So
of
we only
oxygen.
have these two stops at this moment, right?
Yes, sir.
So we have to go down to those floors to make the stops that we want to make.
Yeah, so what we do is we have to fly down to the next floor. And here, I'll do it on one of these blank floors. Just like the next floor down.
I'm not going to do it on the worry about it on the blank floors.
Well, just as an example, if that's alright.
Sure. And we can get rid of the. So we're going to enclose these and then get rid of the.
Yeah. But that's what they have the elevator floor stop for. And you build the elevator floor stop over the top of it. And now it's labeled as 404 meters. And then,
You can give it a name later.
do we call the elevator? I think you give it a name inside of the elevator itself.
Okay. Alrighty. It's interesting the way they left it. I mean, and this is just the way it is. It's a little bit of a bump in on all those floors for some reason. Maybe it's a European thing. I don't know, but our elevators in the U.S. stop and they're level with the floor, but not these for some reason.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. That is a bit of a lip. Interesting.
And it's just always.
It's also a little more industrial style, which is always a little bit.
All right. I'm going to make another stop on our actual full
Okay.
full floor, and I'll build out the floor there, and we'll be finished. We'll get it on the floors that we want to stop on, and here we've got a. We have a blueprinter sitting here, so not quite sure what the else is here.
Oh, I think this is just a. Yeah. Oh, this is where Garrett was just designing some decorative stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, you see, there's his palettes of materials.
Yeah,
Those are really cool. I hope Garrett's able to start using those.
yeah,
See, this is why we have Garrett around here.
yeah. But Garrett is sloughing lately. He's writing instead of coming and playing with us.
He's trying to make a living instead of playing games with us.
I don't know what is in his head. His priorities are just all messed up.
Oh, messed. Lyndon Finney says, "Good morning, sir, and hello to chat."
Good morning to you. Marabou Chalkland, huh? Wouldn't a hypertube be faster? Yeah. A hypertube would probably be faster.
Yep. But when we're talking about this number of floors and missing
Okay,
string-
look at this.
Uh-oh.
Maybe
Wait.
that was the error message. It was,
Ah.
what?
So string table entry. That just means it's basically a error message. I'm inside the elevator right now, and I'm out. And I'm in the elevator, and I'm out.
Okay.
So it's missing the error.
It's missing the error message.
Yeah.
The actual error message.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to head on down to the next level that I want to put. Do we want this? When we want the elevator to stop at other floors, we can put those in. But I'm just going to go to the main floors at this point.
Sure. So yeah, a little bit more of a comment to Marabou. It absolutely would be faster to do hypertubes, but we have a very, very large factory here, and building enough hypertubes to get ever we need to go would be hundreds of hypertubes. In fact, if you look out the window, Doc, if you want to look at the corner there, we could show this just one little piece of the massive network of hypertubes we have, and that's about that's about a
the
quarter
first and second
of-
floor, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the quantity is way too high. So swapping over to an elevator to do our verticality massively improves.
Yep.
So
Massively.
RJ Vit says, "Hi Doc, just want to say thank you for your videos. Been totally stuck multiple times trying to figure out something in my world, and your videos have made such a difference."
Fantastic. That's why we do them.
Yeah.
Well, initially, the reason why we did them is because I wanted to learn, and distilling it down to a 60-second video helped me to understand better. So,
Yeah. And 98 says, "But with hypertubes, you could reroute them and send somebody flying across the map." Yes. Mm-hmm. Like Garrett did to Doc. Because Garrett's the evil brother.
like you who put an obelisk on me,
I
and
didn't kill you.
only because you didn't put enough of them on me, but the
Wow.
sentiment was still there. You hurt me.
Yeah.
Okay. This gets it to that floor.
Volocrum says, "I'm starting to write down some points that I could talk to about in shorts about blueprints and pipes. So soon you can have Volu tips."
Volotips. Okay.
Very cool.
Cool. When people get familiar with starting to look for tips online, it'll benefit us both.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the philosophy behind a gas station on every corner of an intersection. One gas station only does a certain amount of business, but two gas stations will do more business each gas station than what one gas station will.
Well, we got a problem here, Doc.
We do.
We got a problem.
We don't have problems. We just have things waiting for a solution. Are you on the elevator again?
I am.
We just have issues to resolve that need solutions.
We have a problem, Doc.
Gosh, I can't get him out of that, can I?
No. We already have a stuck elevator.
Really?
Let's see if this will resolve it. And I tell you we have a stuck elevator, and you go and build a different one anyway. By golly. Nope, it fixed it. Cool. We're good.
Okay, what fixed it?
For some reason, the elevator stopped halfway between floors.
That's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem there.
Got to get them caught in the ecosystem of short tips. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I look up tips all online all the time. I learn how to yeah, and in fact, I started looking at when I was programming, of course, Google is your friend. Big time friend many times, and because you can't keep all that little minutia in your head, you've got to you've got to find a source that helps you to get over those little humps along the way. Doc Factory Tips, DFT. What's DFT?
Doc Factory Tips.
DFT. Okay, Doc Factory Tips. I'm sorry, I'm acronym challenged.
Is the slightly lighter outline on asphalt foundations a 1.1 thing? Maybe? RJ says, "My brother spends more time putting novelists on me than building factories, so you're not alone, Doc."
Where's that? Where was that said?
YouTube, like the third from the latest.
Okay. I'm not seeing it, sorry. especially since each code book is a textbook in and of itself. Yeah, so true. Okay, I'm gonna hop in the elevator here, and I'm gonna.
Take us for a ride, Doc.
Okay, I want to go to that one because.
Have a productive day.
Okay, so you want to see trains. The train unloading is in process of being built right now. This is the mega train that's coming from the mega factory to the gigafactory. The mega factory is going to be deconstructed to the point of producing, critical lower level materials, and basically decluttering certain areas and expanding certain manifolds once we get rid of the more complex items and bring them over here. So right now we're just bringing items over here. So this long train here, you can see that it's bringing several different products already. Okay, and these just aren't hooked up and brought into the factory quite yet.
We can show them the other trains in the Gigafactory, because those ones have been fully hooked up.
Yep, those ones. I was going to go there next. Yep.
So Goldchick asks, what are you classing as lower items?
Basically anything tier 4 or below would be a lower level item. Oops, this conveyor is not in the right spot.
Yeah, we've just started building the train to get stuff from Mega Factory, so that's not fully implemented.
So yeah, these aren't even being loaded over there yet. This part of the train, because you saw product on those other ones. So this will let us know what product is on there. I just put a little tongue out there to see what product and see where we need to take it. So, but this train is fully functional at this point, and I'll take you up and show off the other side. Because on this floor is basically is all product level stuff, and you can see one of the trains on the far side heading on out and getting another load, bringing it on in. So because not all of this is hooked up, there's a lot of syncing involved. This right here is the mall, and we'll be hooking things up to the mall. And there goes another train. So this train station is pretty busy. I can't remember. Did I get it completely hooked up or not? I'm not sure. Can't remember if I finished that job or not last time I was over here. But all the outgoing lines here are working. And then here's a train station that's not fully hooked up yet, of course. But I think all the incoming lines are hooked up to the various stations that they'll go to. Worked them all through. So
Okay.
what's happening here is there are 2 stations for each product. Okay. So on this side is where most of them are all hooked up and working. And you'll see that I even misnamed some of these. And you can't see the names of them on this side, so I'm going to go over here.
Yeah, this is another one of those, like, 90% dead parts of the factory.
So when it still has the default name here, it just means that I haven't hooked anything specific up to those yet. But there's the steel, and the Giga Steel is Giga Steel 1 and 2, and then these 2 aren't hooked up because we added, we found we needed just more train stations in here, so we've got copper and copper 1 and 2, and then we've got a train station that we added in the middle. So we had them much more spread out, and then I had to add more, and then we've got iron coming into these 2, and this one's unloading and going out. Now, since all of these products aren't completely hooked up yet, they of course some of the product is being sunk underneath. So
Well, go ahead and show. So from here, we have them attached to lifts that go straight down, right? Can you show that part? Because
okay,
they're looking how to design their train station.
okay. So in the outgoing ports, they're kind of layered in, but notice this one's unloading now and going straight down to our logistics floor. So that's that way we can kind of keep things all nice and clean. It looks cluttered back here, but the outgoing ports here, because they're faced opposite directions, snuggle right in with the outgoing port of this set of train stations. So you see them all unloading very quickly.
Kind of woven together.
Yep. And so then to go down from here, I'm just going to go through this hole over here.
The Labyrinth 2.0.
Labyrinth 2.0, huh? That's funny. Okay. And they come down here.
And this is perfectly ordered, no spaghetti whatsoever.
Right. Perfectly orderly.
So the area inside of the glass is the easy part to explain. You can go and show off that first.
Okay. So all those down ports are coming into here in particular, into containers here. Then
And those ones haven't been hooked up because those are the trains that aren't hooked up.
okay.
But the ones on the interior there have been hooked up.
Yep.
And you notice every single one of them has an independent sink that it flows to. Because the idea is that the trains should never not be emptied. The trains will always be emptied. Period. Okay.
And so we have a smart splitter down here that when this comes down, if this is already backed up, it's going to go to the sink. And
Right.
right now, most of it's sinking because right now we don't have a lot of demand in the factory for the things that are being made with this. So those are backed up and just sitting idle at the moment. But so we have an individual sink for each one, and the trains keep on moving. And then this wonderful piece over here.
Is my genius. This will one day win me a Nobel Peace Prize. I don't know.
Nobel Prize for Physics.
Sure.
Logistics. There you go.
There you go. They will invent a prize just for me for this right here.
Yep. So, what this really is a balancer, a big load balancer,
Not quite. It's compressor. Not
a
balancer.
compressor. Okay.
Yes.
It makes sure that the main conveyor belts, belts 1, 2, 3, get filled before 4, 5, and 6 go. So if we've got a lot of demand on one, the others are going to wane. But we should have enough product coming in here to keep
It's an
those full.
infinitely extensible 12 belt compressor.
Infinitely extensible 12 belt compressor.
That's it. Yes.
Okay.
You got it correct.
All right, we got it fully named even.
Yes. Don't worry. A 12.5-minute short will come out on it soon.
A 12.5 minute short. And that's about what it would take too. Yeah. Okay. Oh, is that the big tour?
I think
Oh.
that's as much as
We have a first time chat on Aurelian Smite. Discovered your YouTube shorts recently. Helped me enjoy the game a lot more. Wanted to thank you for your inspiration. That's cool. Hydrate. And I get a Butterfinger. Somebody said I get a Butterfinger, Robert. I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it didn't come through.
It, for some reason, my receiver bailed. So let me go set the receiver to receive redemptions again.
Yeah, tell it to disconnect and try to reconnect.
Okay, it says it's waiting for redemption, so it looks like it's connected.
Okay, we'll disconnect and reconnect it if you would. Interesting. That's disappointing.
I didn't get to hear Ada tell me I could have a Butterfinger.
And Goldchick says, and you have to make a 12 belt compressor for each train coming in.
Have to?
Technically, we will, yes. Saying it's have to is kind of a like we have 12 lines of everything coming in, right? Because of the size of our trains, we have 12 lines of everything coming in. If we want to use more than 12 lines, the truth is we're going to have backups. And what I'd rather do instead of having it back up and just not be used and it's being sunk, I'd rather send that forward to the next set of machines. So that's the whole point of having this 12 belt compressor is if any of these 12 are not being used, line 13 will be used. Right, and if line 13 is backed up, then line 14, and it'll cascade forward. So maybe even compressor isn't quite even the right word, because compressor is like a many to one sort of thing. I may have to invent a new word just for the fun of it.
Invent a new word just so that you could handle.
Well, I'll
What it
have
really
to
does.
petition you to invent a new word, right? Get permission
that's
from the
right.
doctor.
That's right. Got to follow protocols there.
Yeah. So the plan to avoid belt spaghetti is have tons and tons and tons of extra space. Anti-Crisis Play says, I just realized I didn't reserve enough space for all these stations. My idea was to collect all resources from the map, reduce so many items as I can, but for now, it's only the western part of the map.
Oh, Alexa says ordered food today, got cancellation. So now I'm hungry, grumpy, and still have no food. So I ordered from another place a nice fish dish. Will hit the spot. All right. What do they call that? Hangry. I get hangry when I get hungry. That's kind of your angry and grumpy together.
And we do have a hydrate and a posture check hitting you, Doc.
Yep. I've got my drink right here in front of me. So, all right. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to head on out to the coast. What I need to do now is getting to that next level where we've got trains. I now need to get to a level where I am getting rid of a lot of the inferior transportation modes. And that inferior transportation mode in this case is drones and trucks. So, oh, by the way, the steel factory is called the Steel of Approval. Members can name our factories, and so I believe this one was named Steel of Approval, and we have to be reminded what the copper factory is named.
Yeah, it's the sign's at the very, very top.
Yep, I have to get around the side to get to it. So this train has stopped because the signal is red, and the signal really, I probably need to put another block signal beyond here because it shouldn't be red because the platform is empty.
It also might be an issue of getting it reconfigured because I did see some areas, some issues.
Okay. So I'm going to put another block signal down here.
So Goldshake asks, what's the input and output rates of your steel production?
You're wanting me to remember that? Okay.
Yeah,
good.
I don't recall.
I don't recall either. Oh, and this hypertube is really useful.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Now people won't die if they take that hypertube. And there goes the train to the next stop. Okay. It's picking up copper. We have several trains usually on each route. In other words, another train will come through here that's also taking copper. And this factory, this tall factory here, I don't know if I can get up high enough to see the name.
And if you guys are hearing some construction noises outside, hopefully that'll be done by the end of the day.
Wow. He's right in front of the studio.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what he's he's distributing the extra gravel left over in our driveway. Which, gosh,
that's
those
nice.
guys have been really nice to do that. So basically we got our driveway with new gravel on it at the same time getting the two septic tanks put in. The big tank for the 6,000 square foot house over there. Good grief. That's hard to imagine. I can't tell what the name is, Robert.
It's at the very top. You got to fly all the way up there because big signs are dumb in Satisfactory.
Big signs are dumb.
Yeah, but you have to fly up there. It probably is barely even rendering.
I can barely see words, but I'm not.
You have to get closer to fly up, unfortunately.
Okay, but I can fly up once I get close to the building. Huh?
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
And Cece asks, "What are you working on today?"
Well, I'm going to be working on trains here shortly. But
Right now, we're kind of reacquainting ourselves with the Gigafactory because it's been a while, right?
Well, and not just that. People asked us what the names of the buildings were. I wanted to see the names of the buildings. Okay. Robert's Copper Spire of Doom.
Doom.
Robert's Copper Spire of Doom.
Yeah.
Members, by the way, can redeem points to name the various factories.
Yeah. Actually, it's not even members. Anybody with points in Twitch.
Oh, okay. Anybody with points. And
Anybody. Can you believe that? Anybody can.
So this is the Iron Dome out here, making iron ingots. This is a factory for concrete, and off in the distance over here is a second factory for concrete. And we have a train going to those, and then capturing. And this platform that's not rendering is actually a train station. And the platforms here that are not rendering, the equipment on them are making concrete also up in that hill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to a compacted coal factory and build out a new bit of train. But I'm coming down because I got a ways away, and I'm hoping it catches. Yeah, there we go.
Gold Angel says, "Hi, Doc. Just started playing Satisfactory. Found your videos incredibly helpful. Thanks for your hard work you put into them."
Okay, we're live streaming right now. It's time. That was one of my grandsons.
This morning, I got up and wanted to go see the construction workers' handiwork. You know, nice brisk morning. And I found him over there playing with their spray paint cans and climbing all over their heavy equipment. I'm like, "Hey, bud, you helping them out?" "Yeah." "Did you do all this work?" "Yeah." "They helped." "Oh, yeah?" "Well, that's good. How about we go inside and we wait for them to get here today, okay? And we can all work together." "Okay." And he came inside with me. It's like, dissuade him from playing on the heavy machinery.
Yep. All right. So there's my compacted coal plant. And as soon as we get closer, you'll see the train station. And I will be starting to configure a loop to take that compacted coal to the Spire Coast, where we have more of this kind of stuff going on. So I'm going to see if architecture. I want a big concrete pillar, and I want it sideways. Hey Robert, I think that's going to work just fine. Going off to the side here, put the train on next to it. Think I
Yeah.
need to go out one more?
Yeah, I think one more would be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be adding 3, and then put the train on this one
Perfect.
here where that's stacking.
So just a random commenter said,
Okay.
as a new Satisfactory player, I've been wanting to build a big factory, but my biggest personal hurdle isn't the factory itself, but figuring out how to route the raw resources in and splitting them right.
Yep, that is a challenge.
And I would definitely agree that that's probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
There's a car beeping outside?
Um,
Or that's them? It sounds like a regular car horn.
is it?
Yeah,
No,
it
it
stopped. Okay.
Yeah, it did sound like a regular car horn, but I'm not quite sure which car it would have been, because our 2 cars are right in front of the studio, so they would have been louder.
That would have been much louder. So Samuel, last name said, long time no see, dog. Good to be back.
Hey, glad to have you. Glad to have you. So far, these pillars have... Oops, a little bit of clipping there. I think I'm going to fix that. There we go. Simple solution for that one.
Alert.
Doc,
Due to
you hearing
increased
anything?
spectator engagement, conveyor belt functionality is now offline. Estimated downtime is 10 minutes. Your inability to optimize is not a bug, it's a feature. Thank you for your ongoing contributions to Fix It's Entertainment Division.
Fix its entertainment division? It's entertaining to tell me I can't use conveyors. Okay. and there's even a timer over here. That keeps me honest.
How about that?
That's terrible. Megalith, excuse me, but
And as Icy Knight says, it's quite entertaining. Look,
okay. Oh boy, the gorge is going to get a little tight here. Yep, it's just gonna get tight.
Okay, we got a technical question, Doc.
All right, let me have it.
Asher says, "Hey, Doc, what's the best way to balance out a pipe system for fuel when the numbers are calling for like 549.89 cubic meters per pipe?"
Best way to balance out a pipe system for fuel when the numbers are calling for, okay, make sure that you are providing a little bit more than that. You can't, I never worry about balancing things in the respect that you would want to hit those numbers exact simply because it's just not worth the effort that it takes to do that. So that's kind of my take on it. Okay.
Yeah, I think basically overloading is the way to go. I don't think there's a when you get to a number that specific, which means you've likely been doing some overclocking or something like that. I think the only thing you really can do is just overflow it, just overload it.
Yep, just overload it. What happened is my zoop. So it's going to come here, it's going to go around that pillar, and it's going to hit there. And I've got a natural table over here. Let's see what... Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. And you can blow these things up, right, Robert?
I think you can, yeah. Yeah, Asher, the best bet is to overfill and hope for the best. We just put out the last couple tips we put out before today. So today was 74, so 71 and 72 show you how to do an overflow pipe. So you could overflow, if you do too much, you can overflow to a packager if you want to prevent anything from backing up previously.
Yeah, exactly. Is the kill dock button on vacation or something? Yes, yes. Yes, it's definitely on vacation.
Yes, unfortunately.
What? Why did that train stop in the middle? I
I
hope
don't
it's
see
because
it.
render distance.
Hmm. Oh, okay. So Asher says this is the best bet is just overfill and hope for the best. Yeah, building a turbo fuel factory to process 2,700 turbo fuel a minute for power.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, that is. So why did this why did this just decide to stop? It's amazing. Interesting.
Asher says, so I'm curious about the packager step. I'm skipping packaging entirely my build. I'm piping directly to fuel generators. Is that going to hurt me? Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. The only reason you package something is to transport it. Or you package it to use it in drones or something like that. But you don't worry about packaging it if you're piping it straight into another machine.
I mentioned packaging it in the context of if you have too much and it's backing things up and you want to keep your machines always running.
Exactly.
You can take the overflow and package that in order to sync it, because you can't sync a liquid. You have to sync a package of liquid. So you could overflow to a packager to a sink if you wanted to.
Okay. So what are you working on, Robert?
I'm staring at the labyrinth.
Staring at it. You're not getting anything done?
I'm preparing to get something done.
Are you stymied somehow?
I am getting back in the headspace for doing it.
Oh.
I think we have to go a little bit wider to get out of the way of the Giga train there.
Yep.
Or we could just shift the current train a little bit.
Yep.
Understand? Shh.
What did you say? Long-winded ways to say that you're not doing stuff. Is she right? In his defense, it is really difficult when you haven't played on a large build like this to get started again on a big build. So I can understand him staring for a while to try to figure out what the next step would be. So I do give him a hard time. So.
Yeah. Edersay says, I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do nothing. Just... So, talking about the liquids and packagers and stuff that Asher was bringing up, Conrad Lawrence questions, what about valves?
You know, valves have their own funkiness. And I say funkiness because I don't know how to describe it. I've never really seen valves work properly. Okay. Start cutting. Start cutting. Oh, I'm out of fuel.
Yeah, there you go.
Now I've got fuel. Okay, that gets that out of the way. I'm getting there. See, now it gets really difficult. Because now see, we'll get the train to this point. And then really what it's going to take is a full reconfiguration of this train station, because this train station here, it's just a forward and back one. And we get a little bit of an interesting graphics glitch here. We have a cargo container sitting in the middle of the train.
Yeah.
That happens. Okay, so what's going to happen is right now we have these drones. And these drones right now are taking the compacted coal coming from here, and they are taking it out to our power platforms that are turning it into turbo fuel, is it, Robert? And the compacted coal plus some fuel equals turbo fuel. I think it's the way it works. And these have been very efficient as far as functioning. They've kept the lights on, at least. In fact, this is our 55 gigawatt power that we talk about in the shorts, and so our Robert,
What's up?
our production is only 145 megawatts, 145 gigawatts.
Oh no.
Okay. So the question is, which piece is not working?
There is a problem with the turbo fuel factory. So you want to look into that while I look into nuclear?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
Both Red Squirrel, and Icy Knight said, "Just blow them up. Just blow them up.
Yeah, right.
Come on, just blow everything up." Talking about the foliage instead of cutting it down.
Well, I've got a hyper tube to take me on out to the place, so I'm gonna go jump in the hyper tube and go take a look out there.
Okay.
I don't think it's the coal plant. All the drones are working and they're taking the compacted coal with them. So
Okay.
I doubt there's a problem out here. I think something's happened at the nuclear site.
Entirely possible.
So it's all nice and sunny here. So we didn't decide we would make roofs over any of this.
Waste is full.
The waste is full. Which waste?
Nuclear waste.
Okay.
Leonard Leon Magnum says, "Sir Doc, have you ever given Space Engineers a try?"
I have downloaded it, I have installed it, and I am ready to give it a try. So, it's just a matter of actually doing it. Yeah, I've got smokestacks that are all functioning, Robert. By the way, this is a pretty awesome site, seeing this. We built it out over the water here. And each one of them produces how much? We said that it would produce a total of 55 gigawatts. So these over here are producing turbo fuel along with the coal, the compacted coal that we brought out. Out here it is reproducing the residual and turning it into plastic. So all that residual fuel is going, and then we're droning it back to where that train station is, and away it goes back to the Gigafactory, or brings it from there to bring it out here to process. So kudos to Robert mostly for helping get this all built. We worked 3 or 4 days on it. The sign here was made. This site was named by Alexa, and it's named after the boat builders, I believe, that built the Titanic. Is that it?
Yes. I don't remember what the HW stands for, but yes. And that's their
That was their logo.
decently close to their logo.
Yep. When you stand back and look straight onto it, it's definitely their logo, just like that.
Harlan and Wolf.
Harlan and Wolf. Okay. So yeah, everything's functioning out here, Robert. Everything seems to be doing just fine. Nothing appears to be backed up. Everything appears to be taken care of. So we're good. So what is that?
Is what? Oh, that was a cannon that somebody commissioned to have you killed.
Okay. Woof! I almost got hit out of the sky by a drone. Cleaning out the crash debris here. All right, that looks like I've cleaned it all up.
First time chat from Corsi.
Okay.
He says, "Hey,
Hi.
I was wondering, do you know Kibitz or Blitz personally?"
I don't. I would really like to meet them. In fact, I really hope that they will be coming to the conference I'm going to attend in October.
That'd be really cool.
It would be. Up unless I get down there somehow.
Yep.
Yeah, I
There
can't.
you go. Hey, just want to let you know that your shorts really helped me when I got started in Satisfactory. Much love.
Well, appreciate it. Oh, I'm operating on a. Why am I operating on turbo fuel? I mean, on compacted coal here with my jetpack.
That's one of the 1.1 issues.
Okay, so
That's what I was having an issue with this morning.
okay. All right, is it an easy fix getting rid of the? Okay, there's obviously a reason why waste wasn't being processed.
Yep.
And did you find that out?
Yep.
Did it happen with the water that when we filmed the video on?
Yep.
Uh-oh. Yeah, broke something?
I broke something.
Okay.
Oh boy. Titanic was brought up, so we get to hear Alexa say something. Alexa says, "It's also a good example of the failures of apprentice and master teaching system. Master shipbuilder Alexander Carlisle retired, and his two apprentices died in the North Atlantic. When the Titanic sank, living in the shipyard without a master shipbuilder or designer, and unable to easily replace them either, since no one else could fill their places. It's why the final ship of the scale and quality ever made would be the RMS Britannic, which they used the plans for the Titanic and Olympic for."
Okay.
And Corsi asks a good question. Says, I haven't played in a while. Do you think I should start again or both 1.1?
I would I would start again if you haven't played. I don't know what a while means. Is that years or is that you know a couple months? If it's a couple of months, you could probably do with your current build.
Hmm.
But I think I would start over, especially if you haven't played since 1.1 or if you haven't played since 1.0. Definitely start over if you haven't played since 1.0. So, oh gosh, stretch. It's nice that even though uh, I really admire the work that I am Kivitz is doing. I'm really admire his reach. He has a great audience that really likes him. I don't want to chip into that, but I think there's definitely room for a lot more players to play Satisfactory, and therefore a lot more chance for my channel to grow as well. So,
Yeah, could grow the total audience.
grow the total audience. So, at times I joke that I'm gunning for Kibitz because really I I want to be as big as Kibitz. I am Kibitz's, and it's going to take a bit to get there. Oops, that's what I want.
He's built a great audience.
Yes, he has.
So Gold Angel says, my husband works as a downstream engineer, and when I showed him this game and how I got my lines at 100% efficiency, it upsets him because it's impossible to be 100% efficient.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a near impossibility to do that in Satisfactory too, because you've got these odd numbers, like you know, you know, um, ingots will be produced at a certain rate, and they'll be consumed by the next machine at a different rate, and then the next machine at yet a different rate. Especially when you start going up the stream with the frames to the
Oh gosh.
heavy
Yeah.
modular frames to the fused frames to I mean all those upgrades. It just gets to be so difficult to actually get things efficient. So
Archon says, have you watched anything by Drawing Chaos?
don't think I've heard of him. No.
Yeah, I've seen he does some shorts, and if I'm
Okay.
remembering correctly, he does some shorts more on the decoration side, and he does some cool stuff. And both That Plane Guy and ESGY are first-time viewers, and said they're pretty that your tutorials have helped them quite a bit.
Fantastic. Well, when tutorials became such a critical part, all of a sudden we realized that we just needed longer form for some of the tutorials. That the playthroughs were great, but who wants to slog through a 4 hour live stream or a 30-minute long playthrough just to get a little bit of information? So that's the whole reason behind getting Doc University started. So hopefully Doc University will help even more people. Okay, it's gotten quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah, a little bit.
Looks like I need a pillar in this area, like right under the waterfall here to bring it out. Okay, big pillar here. Yeah, just bring it right to there. Probably that. Okay.
Archon says Chaos does do longer form videos as well, but mostly 20 to 30 minutes. But aesthetic is kind of his niche. He built a clock tower. Well, that's cool. That would probably be the guy that Garrett would want to watch.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think we've lost Garrett for a period of time just because he's neck deep right in his book. Unfortunately. How dare
Yeah, how dare he?
Although I have been able to steal away from his book a little bit. We played a game. Doc, you remember playing Whitehall Mysteries?
Whitehall?
Yeah, it's
Somewhat, I think I remember it.
the game where you're trying to chase Jack the Ripper and capture him before the end of Night 4. But yep, Garrett has always been very reluctant to play any sort of board games. But recently, I've been able to convince him that it's okay. They aren't evil. They aren't terrible. And he's been enjoying himself actually. Although he will never tell you that.
He will never tell you that he's enjoying himself, so he never doesn't want to admit it yet.
Correct.
Kind of like I didn't want to admit to Mama Doc that I was playing games, and started a channel on playing gaming with Doc.
Yeah, so for those who don't know that story, Doc started this channel in secret.
And it was quite a while before Mama Doc would even admit to any friends that I was a YouTuber, because then she'd have to say, "Oh, what's the channel? Oh, Gaming with Doc." He plays games for a living. He's a PhD. What's he playing games for?
Before this, we did have our tech channel, and that was acceptable because, well, that's where he puts his university lectures. This is just him using new technology.
Yep.
And now it's nope. This is
And my Czech channel is monetized as well, so it
yeah.
it was a
trickles in.
successful channel to a certain degree. Gaming with Doc is quite a bit bigger now than it is. So,
Oh yeah.
and it's because I'm not really paying attention much to the tech channel, it's probably not gonna do any serious growth at all.
Yep. Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
oh wow. Okay.
Are you just gonna repeat me?
I'm curious what the exclamations are all about.
Here, let me show you.
Uh-oh.
That's the clock tower that Drawing Chaos made.
Oh,
Wow. Right?
yeah. That's cool. And is that directly under he encased the space elevator?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's insane.
Yeah, that's cool. Insanely cool. Well, this train building is turning out okay. I do have this next area that's going to get a little bit dicey because I have to go out and around the mega train a bit. that worked.
I am doing some... Wait, why? That's right. I'm adding some functionality to the... I can't talk.
Okay.
Nuclear power to try to improve it.
Okay.
So,
Won't just shut down again?
well, unfortunately, because of where the issue was, we fill up a industrial storage container with nuclear waste. We filled up every single nuclear power plant with waste, and we filled up all 4 of our blenders making non-fissile uranium with waste. We are so overloaded with waste, we have to process a lot of it. So I'm setting up a temporary, very large-scale um, processing.
Alessander_Petrova said, Robert ADA here. I have sadly found out about your inefficiency in killing Doc and focusing on chat today, so you're hereby denied any doggo or kitten cuddles, and not allowed a Butterfinger. Maybe that will remind you to stay efficient.
And maybe that will remind you to stay efficient.
Efficient in killing you.
Okay. Hey, Robert,
Yeah.
how did the filming of the overflow valve cause the problem? It just because the water filled up?
It worked. I just didn't get it quite enough head lift. I just didn't build it quite tall enough. It should have been 1 tick taller.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
So what was the impact of not building it quite tall enough? I guess is the question.
what ended up happening is that the valve ended up not working, and it allowed in the regular water instead of... It allowed in the pumped water instead of...
So it did the opposite of what it was intended to do.
Yeah, it just was non-functional, so... Chaos's tower, the clock tower, is called the Kronos Summoning Circle.
The Kronos Summoning Circle.
I like it.
That's cool. That's just so creative. I love that.
Okay. So, Anticrisis asked, do you have any round train routes?
Yes.
And that's actually what we're doing right now. Doc is upgrading a one-way to a round route.
Round trip route. Yes, all of the routes that are going and taking ingots, like the copper ingots, the iron ingots that you see, the copper ingots that you see in the distance, the cement, and the steel plant that you saw earlier. All of those routes are circular. They all come in here, they go back, and they go to this side of the factory, and they come back out this left side of the factory to come back out here and pick up more. So yes, those are all roundabout. I'm just expanding that roundabout concept, and then I'm going to be adding to this network a network that takes it all the way through all of the map in such a way that we can then just create intersections, and we can just tell a train where to go and have it figure out how to get there to the through the whole network, rather than us having to figure out, well, I need...
It's early game.
You need so many of them. It is really hard to keep them organized. So
Yeah.
first, it's a bit of empathy. Second, man, if you figure out the solution, would you tell me? Really, I don't have a good answer for that one, unfortunately. Simply because it's so hard to do because you've got so
Oh.
many different things that need
Well, how
to
about you
use iron
hold on
ingots.
for a second, okay? Looks like we're having a little bit of internet trouble, so let's let you just pause. We can till we get back.
Obviously, it got too long-winded. The internet went
That's
down.
what it is. Wow. Yeah, Twitch is fully saying we have 0 viewers.
And
Oof.
third, 45 seconds over again.
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay. Still have 50
Oh,
viewers.
we were up to 80, 90 viewers.
All right.
Oh, Alexa didn't even hear your us responding to her. Oof. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Oh, well, Twitch thinks we have some people back.
All right.
There we go. We're finally coming back. So Alexa, Doc did respond to you, but when the stream was going bad, he was very appreciative that you were being mean to me instead of him. How dare you?
Yep.
Okay, so Doc, I will read the comment again and see if you can say it. If
Okay.
you can. It says, that plain guy, a request I have, and you may have it, haven't found it, is how to organize iron ingots early to mid game.
Okay. We need to start with that one. Okay. Organizing iron ingots is so difficult because iron ingots are needed for so many recipes. In fact, a lot of the alternate recipes rely more on iron instead of less. So iron just becomes a commodity you almost can't get enough of, and it needs to go so many places. Keeping it organized, I think, is a little bit more of a challenge than what we give it credit for, really. So you just do your best to get it and keep it in line so you can get the ingot line to where you need to get it. So I hope that helps. It's just hard. It's just hard.
Okay, and Eggsy says, facts, while playing Satisfactory, I'm using a second monitor to watch crime investigation courtrooms, sentences, etc. I love it. Watching so much gameplay is just kind of boring, so short's the best option for me.
Yep.
I
I think there's a place for long shorts.
Yep. Internet's having a hard time again.
Did it?
Entirely yet.
I wonder why that is. I mean,
Some days are a struggle.
I don't think we've got a storm out. I'm really seriously wondering whether it's a problem. We're moving again on. We're moving again on. No data. Stream will end shortly unless you restart your streaming software.
Yeah, it's
Excellent connection again.
an OBS complaining.
Restarted OBS this morning.
Uh-huh.
So we'd like to be able to rule that out.
Yep. And according to Twitch and to stream logs, it's It's all network issue. Unfortunately. Okay, OBS thinks that we're back to good again. Is anybody still here?
Is
Archon.
Starlink is feeling moody, perhaps.
That's a good way of saying it.
Yes, that's definitely a good way to say it. Okay. And YouTube Studio thinks that we've still been going an hour and 39 minutes, so
Okay. Could somebody on YouTube confirm that we're still live? Oh no, 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 no. Oh, gosh darn it. I ran out of filters and died.
oh no.
Had plenty for a while. Megalith says maybe the construction vehicles interfered with Starlink? Hmm.
Well, they wouldn't be interfering with any of the cabling for it,
Yeah.
but um, that is definitely a thought for today, anyway.
Yeah. And Anthony over on YouTube says, never left, just letting it buffer. And Lenora
Okay.
Hillman says, yes, seems left. Yes, guys, thank you.
Thank you for
Good.
sticking around.
Looks like... Oh, nope, it went bad again. Jeez. Oh, come on. I just want to play video games. Man. And, yeah, how much wireless noise could the construction crews be generating?
You wouldn't think hardly any.
Well, we also had construction crews out here yesterday
Yeah.
with no
And we
issues.
had more equipment yesterday than they have now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got less equipment today because they're basically buttoning things up. They're not digging the trenches. They're not, you know, they're not doing the ground prep type stuff where they had a lot of diggers and a lot of people moving dirt around.
Okay, and Adrian is still here.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, doing a short on reinforced iron plates is definitely going to happen. It's been on the list for a little while.
Stitched. That would be alternate, stitched alternate. Stitched plates. Stitched iron plates, I think it is.
Alan Cook asks, is it better to overdo an oil power plant than jump to nuclear?
It's really your choice. I've seen and heard of other people who just nuclear. It's a pain to keep it balanced. It's a pain to keep it running. So there are, gamers that just skip it. So that is always, a possible move to just leave it and not do it at all. And just build more oil, more coal, more turbo fuel power plants, that type of thing. Although I would build oil instead of turbo fuel because, I would do turbo fuel. Okay, I need to go check and see what's going on. But yes, you can skip nuclear if you really want. You'll have to keep building large scale power plants though. Nuclear is very compact and it produces a lot of power in a very small place. But but it has its own concerns. So I'm going to be off screen for just a moment. Robert, you want
Yep.
to take
In
over?
fact, I'm gonna pop over my screen for a second. So I have the Starlink map of where the satellites are, and we're down here in Southwest Missouri. So for those of you who aren't in the U.S., unfortunately, with so many satellites, it's kind of hard to see the map, right? But here's the U.S., and we're down here in Southwest Missouri. And quite often we get like this big void. You see this big void right here? Not very good. Sometimes we get that over our area, but I've been watching it today. It's been okay. It hasn't been bad. So for right now, we have perfect frame rate. You know, we're basically right here. So we're doing okay. Actually, we're a little bit farther north here, but yeah, that horn unfortunately was one of the vehicles right outside our door. So, um, I honestly don't think it's Starlink because right now we went really bad. We have satellites right above us at the moment. So it's an interesting question. I don't know exactly what's going on. This doesn't tell me anything that's helpful for me. So, yeah, I've been messing in here with the factory. I'm just not getting back. I want to see if these have improved at all. Good, its waste is empty. Good, which means all these guys are running again. Okie dokie, it's catching them. The horn was someone being impatient, waiting for the studio to move. Yeah. Get out of the way. Okay, we're back up to 290. That's good. So, I'll show you what happened here. This is the apparatus that I installed. So this water line here comes from a water extractor, okay? And this is the overflow from these blenders. So when this thing gets too full, it can't make any more non-fissile uranium, okay? So this line. However, this line right here, by lifting it up here, causes this junction to prefer what comes in its own level instead of this vertical one. And so what ended up happening is this wasn't tall enough. I had to just raise this up a little bit more, and now it'll work just fine. So my next question is, because I need these guys to keep on processing, I have them all juiced super high, just to get rid of as much uranium waste as possible. So I got them juiced, so I gotta just go back stream and yeah, just for today. Want to get rid of all the extra waste and fill up all the future machines because I bet that this thing is still completely full. Yep, it's still completely full. Incredible. So anyway, I'm just putting together 4 up there really quick to get these guys going. I'll tear all this down at the end. But I gotta attach the silica, nitric acid, and sulfuric acid. So, looks like I'm just going to extend this straight across. And it's going to be a little bit messy, but that's fine because it's only temporary. That's what they always say, right? Okay. Okay, they're getting sulfuric acid. Very good. Now, I do believe these guys are making the nitric acid. The sulfuric acid comes from the other side, and I think that we have enough of it. I think it's actually backed up. Let me see how well these guys are producing. Oh, these are backed up because they have what? 20 encased uranium. Oh, no. See, this is what happens when you let everything back up. It takes forever for everything to balance out again. And if these guys are all backed up. Of course they're backed up because they're backed up, which means these guys are backed up. Are any of these overclocked? None of these guys are overclocked. Well. Do I have to sloop these? Oh, that's just gonna... See, this is a problem. This is a big problem. We're overloaded on uranium fuel rods. We're overloaded on encased uranium cells to make the uranium fuel rods. In order to get enough sulfuric acid down there to process all of this, we have to make both of those more. So the only way to get rid of our waste is to make more waste. Yay! Alexa says, sorry, Robert, for giving you Ada snark, but that bomb did fail to kill Doc, so I had to do it. Apologies for the pain. Sink some fuel rods. I thought you couldn't sink fuel rods. If you can, let me... I 100% will do that first. I thought we couldn't. Awesome sink. Oh, yeah, just put it in backwards, why don't you? We don't have lights in this place. Gotcha, that hole right there. Huh! I was sure you couldn't sink rods. How about that? The next question is, can we sink encased uranium cells? Yeah, I just sunk them. Isn't that crazy, I said? I was sure you had to get to plutonium. Yeah, that's what I remember. That's the final... What? I guess I'm just misremembering. The next question is, can I sink some of these encased uranium cells? This guy's not... Oh, yeah, that's why. Okay, let's just do smart splitter here. And I know you guys are going to hate me for clipping. Let's see if this will let me... Please let them sink. And then left. Overflow. Hot dog. Cool. Cool. I'm just going to do that, just get rid of the overflow. As soon as that's done, I will get rid of it. Okay. Eggsy says if you delete the sink with coupons, then it will earn coupons go to your pocket. No, all the withdrawals are general to all of the sinks. So if I just build a new sink and talk to it, it also has, once I power it up, it will also show 176. Yeah, right there. So I can just get rid of that one, and I'm fine. And come on, what can I guess I'm gonna let it. So cool, very good. The fact that I can sync the... Let's take a look at the last one in the line. Yeah, it still has quite a ways to go. Okay. Oh, but my screen went black. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is doing good on sulfuric acid again. Good. I'm not worried about it anymore. This is much more of a concern, however, unfortunately. Let's see if I can just snake it through here. Hmm. And yes, I'm making ugly pipes. So Chingo says you should be able to sink anything that you make. It's the waste you can't sink until it's been broken down into further processes that's connected to, such as plutonium. Next one after. That makes sense. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's sometimes these things just don't make sense until somebody gives you just a valid reasoning, and it's like, oh, okay, sure, I could deal with that. Okay. We're gonna not talk about the clipping, okay, guys? This doesn't happen. This does not exist. We're just not gonna. Nope. And I think I still need silica, yeah. Luckily, I have plenty of silica to be made here. In fact, these guys could easily be overclocked to make a little more. Yes, it made up for the snark. But don't tell Doc. Oh, okay, fine. Let's. You know what?
Man. Well.
Everything okay, Doc?
The in the midst of all of that, the electric guy decides to come. The electric guy that's going to hook up the electrical to the big house, which
Ah.
is yay. That's a major win, as well as the being able to get the septics in. So septic and electric. The next thing is getting the well dug, and they will have water and septic and electric, and that's the majors. And
Nice.
so once that is done, we're good to go. So yeah, nice. Okay, did I miss
Icy
any?
night, yes on nothing.
Did I miss any interesting questions that I would like what you'd like me to get answered?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. Come back to you. Let's see. Well, that plain size guy says, question for Doc: what's the best alternate recipes in general, and specifically for early game?
Getting rid of screws. The best alternate recipe is probably the cast screw. Just being able to get rid of the need for screws by increasing the number of screws that are made per ingot or per supply, or alternate recipes that get rid of screws altogether, like the stitched plate. What do they call that?
Yeah, stitch plate.
Recipe that allows you to get the get rid of the. Doggone it. Get rid of the alternate recipe for to get rid of the main recipe for reinforced iron plates, because you use them so much. Others use a horrendous, like I said in one of my last shorts, a horrendous amount of screws. Any recipe that gets rid of screws is going to be a big bonus, because screws will hang you up if you don't use any alternate recipes for those. So that's
And-
the big deal.
And we have a short that directly addresses screws and lists all the alternate recipes for screws. Archon Azriel asks, what is the meaning of life?
What is the meaning of life? There's basically 3 questions that you have to ask. To determine the meaning of life. And that is,
Why are
Where did I
those?
come from? Why am I here? And where am I going? Search for those answers. And in finding those answers, you'll find meaning in your life.
There you go. Some bonus doc philosophy. How about that? Margaret says no. It's 42.
Okay. Somebody's been watching Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep. Yep. I'm stealing your stretches you weren't taking, Doc.
Oh, I had plenty of stretches running around the property trying to make sure that the electric guy was taken care of and so forth and so on.
Ahmad Brisky says, I'm also playing Satisfactory, still in Phase 4, because it's my first time playing the game. Thank you for your tips.
Oh, the electric guy said the dog has to be gone, or the dog has to be tied up or something when somebody else comes back. He said the dog almost came up and got really close to me and it looked like he was just gonna bite my shorts off or whatever.
Talking about cricket?
Cricket. Yeah, talking about cricket. No, cricket won't do that.
I mean, sure. You know, we'll be nice, but it's cricket.
Yeah, cricket will lick you to death.
Yeah. Now, Freya, you know, she'll, whew. No. I don't think even she would.
But Freya's a whole lot scarier, and him
yeah.
being scared of cricket barking at him.
So,
That seemed
cricket
a
is
little bit
a
weird.
mini Aussie. Cricket's tiny.
Tiny?
Okay, not tiny. He's a 30-pound dog, 40-pound dog maybe?
I think more than that.
And he gets so excited when he starts wagging his tail, his entire rear end shakes. Like he shakes his entire body.
It's crazy.
That plane guy says, "Thanks for your advice, but it's 2 a.m. in Australia, so I'm going to go to sleep."
All right. Have a good night. And may you wake up refreshed and ready to take on the world tomorrow. There we go. All right. This part of the roundabout is there. And right now, because the train is being told to go here and then go back to the other one, it's going to continue going back and forth even though it's hooked up.
Nice.
Yep. Very nice. So the electrical guy is either going to come back this afternoon with 2 other guys to help him,
Okay.
with 2 other bucket trucks. Because in order to provide 200 amps to their house, and provide you with what you need and our house with what we need, they need a stronger, a bigger line coming into the property. In other words, they're going to bring another whole line in just for the big house.
Cool. Which means they're not going to have to mess with our box?
Oh, no.
Cool. Well, just thinking we might have to go talk to Garrett. Say, hey, by the way,
Yeah,
you're going to lose
that's
power.
ugly. That is really ugly. Do I leave it or do I try to make it better? I think I just made my choice.
Okay. Icy Knight says, "Fix it," in all caps. And then apologize for caps. Okay, come on now.
Okay.
Camera just went down.
Yeah, I think I had a cat wander through. So
Ah,
my right hand monitor also went out. The deal?
well,
Just to, let me see. Oh, Black Sword GGM says, what about screws? What about steel screws? Alternate recipes. Yes, steel screws to increase the amount of screw production does help.
yep.
Yes, eliminating screws is really the first focus that you should have. If you come across those other alternate screw recipes, they do help, and don't shy away from them. But getting rid of just get rid of screws entirely. So let me see what I can do to get my signals back. Just a sec.
Archon says, "Looks like it's technical difficulties day." I agree. And now the cat was just wandering around amongst my 3D printers, which I don't appreciate.
Did you come back?
Yes, sir.
Cat walked on the power strip switch.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's another new one. Okay, so what's the best way to get this up here?
Chingo says, "Your YouTube tip 74 just hit my screen notification screen, Doc."
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, bolted plates and bolted frames are good, but you need steel screws, otherwise they're useless. Yeah. Unfortunately, when it comes to the alternate recipes, for the most part, you gotta just look at all of them and study the tables and choose which ones you want to do. You know,
Yeah.
I believe you are working on a Doc University episode on tips, but on the
Yep.
alternate recipes. But
I am working on a Doc University. Basically, it's going to be a way to judge what alternate recipes to use, rather than a here's the definitive things you use this recipe or that recipe or the other recipe. Because you don't necessarily unlock all the recipes all at once. You can pretty much control which ones you unlock out of the man, but you really can't control which ones you unlock when you're gathering hard drives. It's somewhat the luck of the draw. Although there's some techniques that I'll cover to force it to give you more recipes, and provides a way to reject other recipes that you don't want. So we'll go into that a little bit too. Does that look better, Robert?
yeah, that's a lot better.
Yeah. Okay, and it goes around here. It's not perfect going around here, but it's pretty close to perfect. It's a little bit not straight, but good enough for me. Okay, so that takes us all around there. And the big challenge is going to be how do I not disrupt my power supply? By the way, how's the power supply doing?
Um, we're at 279.
Okay, so it's coming back.
Yeah. But we're having all the typical cascading problems of, yeah.
So it's powering up slowly.
Yeah.
Um, Robert, we have quite a few copper mines out this direction. Does your copper tower need more copper lines going into it?
I believe so.
Okay, so we need to come back and use these copper mines that are dotting the area here and get them over there to it. That'll be for another day. Probably save it until we actually need the copper. What's the problem here? I guess I don't.
I think it's yet another half-done project.
Yeah, what's the deal with these lines to nowhere? I mean, they don't do anybody any good unless they get up there.
Yeah. Adrustea says my road save is getting a two-way belt, which one side's being is to bring concrete to where I am building. The other end is a sushi belt to bring everything I collect back to home base.
Okay. Okay, so I don't know where this one came from or why it was just hanging out there going to nowhere.
Well, I just found a problem that we had ever since the very beginning.
Okay.
Just one of these machines, when it had the pipes connected to it, the pipe just bypassed it. It looked like it was attached. It just wasn't. So this one
Okay.
machine just was never outputting anything.
Okay. Well, that I'm sure will help.
Hmm. Well, we had massive problems. Even though we did all the math, we still continued to have problems with it ever balancing. And so it took forever to balance it manually because the math didn't work. And it's that kind of thing that contributes to the bad math.
Definitely, yeah.
ZS, how's the progress of the Gigafactory going?
Slowly, but we built um, an elevator from top to bottom earlier today, and now we're just starting to get the train lines configured so we can get a better, more reliable transportation system.
Yeah.
So it's an impure. Okay, so okay, logistics. I'm gonna put a merger on them. I don't want a priority merger. I don't need that. I just want a regular merger on that one. And I just need a conveyor from here, snaking around. To there. All right, well, that filled that belt up.
Archon says, that's why I maintain that Satisfactory's other evil feature is to make one question one's ability to do basic math when things like that occur.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When something just doesn't connect quite right. Okay. Well, obviously this belt is not producing too much to go to add to this belt because it's not backing up. So good. Good, good, good. That'll give us two good strong belts. It's at 720 per minute. $1,200 per minute, pardon me. 780, 480, 270. I wonder where they get these numbers. They're not multiples of each other.
No, they are a little weird.
480 to 780, that's a 300 jump. This one's 270 to 480, it's a 210 jump. 120 to 270 is 150. I mean, it's just funky. 780 to 1200 there. So kind of
Just funky.
I don't know of any programming reason why those numbers fit into a programming thing either. So okay, that ought to keep that factory up there functioning really well now. It's amazing how all you have to do is just go around your factory and just around your world and just watch things and oh, that's not right.
Yeah.
That's not right. And
No matter how much you troubleshoot in the moment and it looks perfect in the moment, you come back later, it's like, oh, well.
yeah, it's just funky that way. So this train line comes from the Iron Dome and goes back to the Gigafactory. This one's going back and forth. The biggest challenge now is that I somehow need to start connecting these things. So I've got two iron ore belts that are not moving either. Not quite sure where they're supposed to be going.
That's a great question. Well, it's probably going to the steel factory.
Yeah, you would think they would be, yeah.
Andrestea says, we put some numbers in a hat and voila, we pull the ones we add to the game.
Yeah.
And Archon does not like that.
I don't necessarily like that either. I like things to be ordered and organized. And when they're not, they drive me nuts. Like watching a conveyor system and all of a sudden the conveyor system is just buggered. Meaning it is not functioning properly. Not, how do you say it? Not running at full speed, full capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to run at full capacity. So you're going to end up bringing at least one more nuclear power plant online that never produced before, because of finding that one pipe that was not functioning. Correct?
It was one of the previous machines. It wasn't a nuclear. It wasn't a power plant itself.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it was something that we I had to fight against quite a bit, but there's something radioactive in my inventory, and I can't find it. And it's gonna kill
Oh,
me.
that's
I can't find it.
unusual.
No, it's that weird bug that happens with. It's got to be. So I'm just gonna respawn and it'll fix it. Archon says, I agree, Doc. It isn't working as expected and projected, and doesn't seem to have a findable cause.
Yep. All right, where's a blueprinter when I need it?
Yeah.
You have to
In
you
your
don't have to
pocket.
power up blueprinters, do you?
What?
You don't have to power up blueprinters, do you?
No, sir.
Missing neural quantum processor.
Only if you use Mark III.
Well, I don't need a Mark III, so I guess I'll use a wimpy Mark II. Mark
Wimpy.
Wimpy, wimpy. Hefty, hefty. We're into commercials here, folks.
I'll be back.
Is that a threat or a promise?
She just came in.
Okay. All right, so here I'm going to just make a train pillar support. And I'm going to put in on rail supports there. I'm going to add the blueprint. Rail tower platform. Yeah, I'm going to put it right there. Okay, so do I just close this? So edit. Oh. Okay, close that. Cancel. Apply changes. So how do I go back to my blueprint? There we go. Okay, good. Train pillar support, select icon. I suppose a train track. Okay, select icon, save blueprint. Okay, pillar support rather than the kind of support. Okay, and E. Clear blueprinter, blueprint designer, and take and all right, here we go. And so what I end up doing is I'll create, I just created the pillar, and I'm just going to, obviously I need to, okay, that's going to go clear out there, so I need to get rid of this, and The right-hand one will have a junction. Okay. Gino says, I've started playing Satisfactory again after stopping at an update 8. That's where I started, by the way. Thank you for the good, helpful content and tips you made to help me catch up. Well, hey, thanks, Gino. White Knight Leon. Anthony White Knight Leon Lepek. Okay. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool name. Anti-Crisis plays. Then we have to wait for Terrafactory from Doc. Okay. Okay, just because the game tells me you obey the laws of physics doesn't mean you have to. If the water in some places isn't actually water, the laws of the universe are only the suggestions of the universe. Okay, Volacrum. Obviously waxing poetic on us. Okay. So I am going to go for a train section here that launches off and goes here and to there. Boom. Okay, cool. Now that'll give me power so that I can keep flying. So I'm going to go to the blueprints, and I'm going to go to rail supports, and I am going to put this one under 4 so I can use it. What? What? That's not at all what I just blueprinted. Okay, let's go look at this again. Blueprints. Rail train pillar support is what I wanted. So I want train pillar support under number 4 instead. There we go. And so turn it H and go ahead and put it down. Hi, Kelly. Come on. Petting the cat just a little bit here, and I was trying to get her big fluffy tail out of my range of my monitor. Okay. What? Wait a minute. Obviously, I didn't do that last click. I really hate it when I do that. H, put it down, and remember to click. Well, this is interesting. I honestly only put it in there once.
Yeah?
You can only get just so far out of range, and then you get dropped in the water.
Go for a little swim. That's all.
Yep, you go for a swim.
Oh,
So
boy.
obviously I must have double clicked or something. Oh, Great. Number 5 disappeared. Transport. That's under 5.
Oh, there was quite the conversation while I was gone.
Yeah. I was having trouble keeping up with it. Sorry.
Did you read the chat with Zach Bate? First time chat?
No.
You have to actually scroll up for it, but he says, do you think they should add terraforming to Satisfactory? For example, you could tunnel underground to hide pipes and conveyor belts, maybe build factories into the side of mountains, something like that.
I do wish they had a bit of terraforming that could be done. I don't think they'll ever add that because the world itself, when the programmer was interviewed about whether there would be updates to the world, like a whole addition to the world or something, basically, she said, I will leave the company before we do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It was she, and in the interview she justified what she said by telling it's really hard to build this world. So knowing that it's really hard, I would imagine that that's just not in the cards. Um, Although I do hope they come up with an ability to go out to space and to go underwater.
Yeah. So Volcom responded kind of from a tech angle. You know, that the engine just isn't made for terraforming. You know, this is a very tailored experience. This map was made to look and feel exactly how it is. So it's just that's part of what makes Satisfactory great.
Okay.
And I agree. It's the difference between you have Minecraft, which is voxel based, and a lot of other games which are based where the land can be deformed and shifted and moved, versus Satisfactory where every bush and tree was placed there.
Mm-hmm.
You know. However, I think there is a bit of a middle ground where you don't ever terraform, but what you can do is you can place a tunnel through through something, and what you do is you place one end of the tunnel and the other end of the tunnel, and it only locks to the edge of the cliff of this one cliff and the edge of the cliff on the other side, and links the two. And so you don't actually get to tunnel, you just get to see the two ends, and then see the tunnel once it's complete on the inside. Something like that.
Interesting.
But it's definitely handmade map. I would love to see something kind of like what I described. I don't have the right language for it. I don't know what it's called, but Gino says, I started playing Satisfactory again after stopping at update 8. Thank you for the plethora of helpful content and tips you've made to help me catch up.
Really, it's too long, and I was able to hit out there.
So Solar Flare has a question about the Satisfactory member server. He says, when are we going to do a set, or is there going to be a server cleanup at some point?
A server cleanup, meaning what clean what up in particular?
Getting rid of all of our spaghetti we made.
I would like to, yes. As we start getting more and more sophisticated, we should clean up those factories and have them bringing product into the mega factory instead of the huge number of containers, bringing that product into the factory rather than and have it sunk if it's more than what we can use. Yes, I envision that we need to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and I would. I think we need to do that, but that's probably going to happen while Doc's playing live. So
this is Slugville out here, by the way. If you ever want to find slugs, the North Coast is the place. I mean, there's one here, there's one up here, there's one over there.
And we've already been through here a dozen times.
And every time we go through here, we're finding, more and more here and there and everywhere. I mean, they're just kind of hiding. So I'll go pick up those slugs. All right, I'll go pick up those slugs as I make my way through here. Oops. I left that one full height. Do I want to leave it full height or do I want to knock it down?
Yeah, Icy Knight Doc did automate power shards.
Yeah, we did automate power shards, so really I don't need to pick them up. It's just that they're there. You know, why do you climb a mountain? Because it's there. Why do such a silly thing as that? You understand, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. With all this extra work, Doc, we still haven't made a dent.
Still haven't made a dent in what?
In the industrial storage container full of uranium waste.
Well, we saw that it took a long, long time to be impacted out there.
Yeah, but I doubled the number of blenders disposing of uranium waste.
Really?
Yeah, I doubled them. I fully overclocked all of them.
Wow.
So I think I've tripled our uranium waste disposal.
Processing it into something that can be used downstream.
Yeah, into non-fissile uranium. And then I took both particle accelerators, or all three particle accelerators, which were at 150%, took them all to 250%. Yeah, this is...
Not quite sure what Mr. Caustic said. Just got yeet your dead body far, far, far away. Wait, a hyper cannon. Not quite sure what that means. I'm sure there's a few English words in there. It just doesn't fit the words together very, very well.
Archon says, are you really a fix-it employee if you don't cause the extinction of a species? You gotta harvest every power slug and turn them all into paste. Oh no, Jojo! By the way, Doc, yesterday you built the train station not on the world grid.
Right. Why do I have to build on the world grid? I'm past that now. I'm elevated beyond that.
Where are you building, Doc?
Going out to our power plants out the Spire Coast.
You mind opening your map and showing me where you are?
I'm right here, and I plan on looping around and connecting these up, and then coming back around and going right back.
Interesting. Okay.
It was a way to get this working. Oh, and there's the yellow slug down there. It was a way to get this working without interfering a whole lot um, with the current train station.
Okay. Mr. Caustic blamed autocorrect. I think this was more than an autocorrect change. I think he completely rewrote his sentence, but he says you should fill your inventory full of nuclear waste and then use a hypertube cannon to launch your body off the map.
Okay.
But you have to disable keep inventory first.
Oh, disable keep inventory. Yeah, so that you don't keep the nuclear waste.
Right.
That's one way to get rid of nuclear waste, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, it'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Well, our power's up to 307 now.
Well, that is higher than it was before.
Yep. And Gino's response was, if you have a job, would you still just leave $1 on the ground? No, of course you wouldn't. Well, there's a slug there. You pick up the slug.
Exactly. They're not doing anybody any good just sitting here.
Mm-hmm.
Half the fun of building a train is getting it first situated like this. Coming back is going to be easy. There is nothing beyond the world grid.
Hmm.
I've had 3 different flavors of basically Kool-Aid today.
Okay.
I started with grape, and now I'm on strawberry, and then I'm on peach.
Hmm.
So yes, I have remained hydrated today.
White. Have an interesting question from Omzi. It says, what
Okay.
was harder, working factory shifts or building a community on stream?
Which is harder?
They're
Well,
definitely two very different things.
very different things. Very different skill sets, definitely.
To be honest, I'd say the community just kind of came, didn't it?
Yeah. Realistically, when we started building this, building this YouTube channel, it was, is anybody gonna, you know, respond to me at all? I'm just not like the other YouTubers. I don't do things the way they do things. I'm not flamboyant, and I don't yell at people. I don't, you know, I was quite different. So it's kind of like I was wondering if anybody would respond to me, and obviously I've been accepted very, very well. So building a community has kind of been almost a surprise.
Yeah.
So a pleasant surprise, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So is it making sense the direction I took now, Robert?
I guess.
Harder.
Bugger, huh?
Bugger, yeah. It was too long, it says.
Oh, yeah. That old error. Zach Bates says, would love to see
So,
some more behind the scenes. Have you ever thought of vlogging?
like to see more behind the scenes. Ever thought of vlogging? And help me understand what that is.
So, vlogging, short for video log, it's more showing off your day-to-day life sort of stuff.
You'd be surprised if you saw that. Yeah, you would really be surprised if you saw that because it my life is actually quite busy.
Yeah. In fact, a couple of members have really asked and wished Doc could play on the member servers more, and it's just Doc's not in here at all unless he's streaming, right?
Not much. I actually came out here at 8 o'clock last night, worked till
That's
9:30 to get part of a project done. I come out here when I need to keep things running. Robert is really the muscle, so to speak, in all of this channel. He does more of the heavy lifting than I do. I, I'm I'm the star. He's the, you know, he makes sure everything works and puts me in front of the camera. So it's kind of a, I'm out here doing my thing as much as I can, but I wonder if it's going to get too deep out there for me to.
Keep going. You likely will. It likely will for a short while. You might have to build some platforms out.
Well,
Or-
I didn't go that far, but look how deep it is.
There you go. That's pretty deep.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it just has to be deep enough to touch the bottom and still be above the water.
Yep.
So I'm getting over towards an island over there. Hopefully um, that will keep me going, keep me floating. Okay, next. Okay.
And Volocrum says Doc isn't the standard streamer type, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the standard streamer.
Chingo says Doc's the beauty, Robert's the muscle. Got it.
Okay.
Adrestea says, as a member or sub, you get a little behind the curtains on Friday member stream,
Yep.
where we get to see how videos are recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, you just don't get to see more of the. I think the reference was that wanting to see more of the in real life stuff. You know, with vlogging.
Yeah, in fact, for the first time, typically we record our episodes on Fridays, and that's a member stream. So if you guys want to become a member on YouTube or become a subscriber on Twitch, you can join us on our members-only Discord streams for Friday for that. Last week, for the first time ever, we actually recorded our tips live with our members, which I think was kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think we're going to keep on doing that unless we get...
It helped us to
busy.
be more productive too, which I really appreciated.
Yeah.
It just felt good to do it with the members.
Okay. And Gauntlet Grim redeemed Butterfinger.
A second time? Do I get a second one?
Well, the second one always goes to me.
No. Okay. Cannot wait to see where this channel community goes. I think the community I think a community that is so naturally occurring is a great foundation for a successful brand. Tell me how I can help. Zach Bates. Have a conversation with. What's your Discord name, Robert?
So first, yeah, join our Discord. And
Join the
here's a link to
Discord,
the
have a
Discord.
conversation with Robert, and kind of tell us what you think you can do to help. And yeah, we're always, always willing to accept help to keep things going, make things go better. Both.
Mhm. Yep, and I'm one of the admins on the Discord channel there, and on there my name is Mamato. So you can send me a message if you have any questions or specific talents you think you could help out with. So
Yeah.
Adrestaya says, I like how this community is all age appropriate and friendly focused.
And that is a must. I will not be anything but, because I want this to be wholesome for my grandkids as well as everyone else who joins.
Gino says I'm the logistical manager. That's a good name.
Interesting.
Good title.
That's why you like Satisfactory.
There you go.
Yep. All right. I am here. And why is that? Why are those two drones hovering?
Okay, Taco says it was rocky road there for a little bit, but I'm hearing you loud and clear now.
Okay.
Yeah, our internet connection is our biggest downfall right now, unfortunately. And I had some issues earlier today, but glad it's
Okay.
coming through now.
Yeah, Alexa says most streamers don't have a PhD, so Doc is different.
Very true.
Very true. Okay. Okay, so the question now becomes how to integrate the trains with what's happening here. I think one of our cats is offending our noses in here, Robert.
Yeah.
Okay, so Robert, right now, the drones bring it into the drone port, and there goes the compacted coal. Okay. Um, and there's 5 platforms, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 platforms. Yeah, I think I know what I'm gonna do. This platform's just going to come up over it, and then we'll conveyor or lift it down to where it needs to go to connect to the existing um, infrastructure. It's going to get a little tight going over here where we were processing the plastic. But I think just a platform that goes above all the machinery is going to be the key to making it successful.
Okay.
You got to be careful, by the way. If you've ever been in the air flying with your hovercraft, if one of those drones comes, it will hit you and knock you out of the sky. I've had that experience. It's just weird to have that experience.
Yep.
So, okay, I'm gonna build walls to start here.
So Zach Bates says, one of the things that drew me to this game was the freedom. The game never tells you how to play or what to build, it only tells you what materials you need for the next level.
Yep, that is so true.
And how you do it is completely up to the player, and I love it. Yeah. The webcam, unfortunately, does blink out every once in a while. So. Volocrum says, making essays and collecting and recontextualizing it are skills that are both important for a video career and a PhD.
Essays and collecting and recontextualizing, yes, absolutely. Taking information and making it digestible, so to speak. Okay, so we need to be how many ball segments is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to make the platform.
Oh, you're making the train station up here.
Yeah, I'm going to make the train station up here, and then it'll circle around and reconnect over there to go back.
Sounds good.
And that way I completely bypass the other station, turning it obsolete, and I can deconstruct all of it and then carry the tracks on forward to other parts of the world.
Sounds good to me.
So I did say 8.
Alexa says, when I get my GPU back, I'm going to make a save, unlock 1.1 and 1.3, unlock the parachute and bombs, get all the crash sites, all the sloops, and as many possible of the spheres and slugs. Cool. Gonna do a whole completion run, huh?
Fantastic. That sounds like it's a plan.
Hey Doc, can you reload Vocalix for me?
Did it fail again?
No, I failed. I hit the wrong button as I went to redeem
Okay.
something. And,
I'm just going to hit receiver here, and okay, I hit connect.
Perfect.
Should be ready.
It's good to go. So,
Are there foundation blueprints? And where would I find them?
for what? For blueprints?
Foundation blueprints.
I think they're actually under general. Yeah.
Undefined.
Yeah.
And
We have so much junk in there.
yeah, we do. One labeled new blueprint.
Yeah, which is really annoying.
Yeah, exactly. 4x4 concrete foundation. There we go. There we go. Oops. I don't know where that foundation got built. Clear under there. Ha! Clear underwater. Because I missed. Okay, let's try this all over again. Here we go. Can you zoop blueprints? You can't, can you? You can't. No,
No.
I'll just answer the
Sorry.
question for you.
Brain is not there yet. Sorry. Can't answer questions while not thinking.
Okay. Another booper placement.
Omzi says it's 3 a.m. for me right now. When should I sleep?
Well,
5 hours ago?
yeah, exactly.
You know, Alexa, I don't know if that's a... I don't think that's a compliment. She says, but Robert, you always answer questions without thinking. That's the best part. Definitely not a compliment.
Oh, that's too funny.
Doc laughed. Alexa says the point was to try to get Doc to laugh on stream. Wow. You succeeded. Congratulations.
That is too funny.
Look, guys. All this time and effort I go through.
All this time and effort. Now he's whining. Now you got him whining.
Ooh, Zach Bait redeemed scan a hard drive.
Ooh. Are you in a position to do that even, Robert?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
If we have a hard drive to scan. Let's give it a shot. Hard drive. I have no hard drives. Let's see if we have one in the depot. We have 5 in the depot. Sure, I will scan a hard drive. Thank you very much.
A lot of
Perfect.
times we
Thank you.
just have to be reminded.
Yep.
So, thank you for the reminder. So, a train station, and train stations go in this direction, and let's see if we can put it right there and still get the train to turn around. Yeah, oh yeah.
Ooh.
Man. Those can be obnoxious.
Alexa is perfectly correct. She says, Robert, the reason you don't think before answering is because you're always busy with 100 things. So you just answer the first thing that pops up. Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to manage chat as well as fix this nuclear power plant, which is just taking forever. Because now we're out of nuclear. Why are we out of uranium? And sulfur? We're out of uranium and sulfur. Doc, what is going on?
Why would? Okay.
Did you do
drone.
something to interfere with our drones?
Nope, I haven't touched the drones, so we've got a drone problem again.
We got a drone problem. See, this is what you call a factory that's working with duct tape and
Baling
prayer.
wire.
And what?
Baling wire.
Baling wire. There you go. Duct tape and baling wire. Concrete. That's fine. That one's fine.
Hi.
That one's re-emit, Sam. It's fine. One of the things we have to do with the big train system is take care of all these drones going to and from the nuclear power plant.
Okay.
Yeah, our sulfur is completely empty.
Okay. So something happened out at the one sulfur plant that we use for that.
Yeah. Jackson says, Yo, Doc, I just started making the Tier 3 elevator parts with my long-distance rail from Oil Lake to a rocky desert where my space elevator is. Where should I start a mega factory?
Try to start it over a body of water. It's always easier to build out over something that's flat and something that's not going to have mines under it. So try to choose a shoreline that you can build out over a flat body of water. It's also helpful because sometimes you want to put in your mega factory something that requires water, and it's really nice to have that water just right straight below you. So
Absolutely. And it's nice and flat and out of the way, and you don't have stuff underneath it. And, yeah.
that's why the Spire Coast worked out so well for us for this oil factory,
Mhm.
oil fuel-based power plant.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So the drone just dropped off one stack of sulfur.
Oh, that would be a problem.
W- w-
I wonder why.
Do you remember where your sulfur is?
It's way down at the south. Um,
Oh, I see it. Yeah, down south.
really,
Okay, yeah, that's something you set up. So I've never been there yet. So this
yeah.
will be fun to go investigate.
Yep. Take fuel with you.
Oh, for the jetpack?
And not just the jetpack, but for fueling up the drone if it's a fuel problem.
Okay.
And can I have you take over the stream for just a bit?
Sure. You guys can catch
Oh,
me
you
when
found
you're
it
there.
already.
Yeah.
You found it already.
Yeah. Oh, look at this spaghetti mess. Look at this.
Yep. One is droning in fuel. The others are droning. What? Turbo fuel still?
Well, yeah.
Regular fuel and turbo fuel?
Okay. 600 per minute? That's not 600 per minute. Look at these old lines.
And Mark II.
Yeah, it's just, this
Okay.
is normal,
Yeah. Time to upgrade.
pure, Mark II. Mark 2. Man. Yes, free power on the geyser. Oh, Doc. Oh, Doc. What is this? Impure, Mark II, fully orc bobbed. Oh. I don't even know what to say. Look at all this. Doc, 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 doc. So, let's figure out which one of these is the problem. Sulfur mines 2. See, it's like, look at that. You just... This is used so little. We have fuel. We have turbo fuel there. We have fuel there. Okay. Package fuel there. You want to know what we actually run on right now? We're running on rocket fuel. These are 2 generations old. That's how little these things actually fly. That's incredible. And again, this guy's gonna get like 3 stacks. And then this one is Sulfur Mines 3. Oh wait. 2 compacted coal 3. Okay. Take a look at this one. Okay, this is the one that brings it to... Yeah. This is the one that brings the fuel to the sulfur mines. It can't unload because everything's full up because, of course, we don't actually use any of this. Oh, this is ridiculous. Sulfur mines 4. Going into compacted coal 4. Okay. Where is it then? 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I miss one? No, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm missing something. I found a gold mine to blackmail Doc. Yeah, gosh, this whole place is such a mess. Okay, all ports. Northern oil fields, plastic, nitrogen. Plus 80 others. Can I see the plus 80 others, please? Nuclear. Nuclear fuel. Port 1A to port 1B. Interesting. No, I don't want nuclear fuel. I need... Is there not a sulfur one? I'm sure we saw a sulfur one, didn't we? Okay, here, let's turn off. I don't want to see... Can I see drone ports? There we go. I want to see drone ports. I don't want to see drones. Okay. Sulfur mines fuel 3. Okay, so I guess there's one farther west. What? Sulfur mines fuel. That's what I saw. I'm confused. Okay. I'm gonna have to go check that again because I confused myself. I don't know what's going on. Close this. Spawn.
I'm back.
Doc.
What?
We found one of your hidden sins.
My hidden sins.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. I've got some hidden ones. What'd you find?
An absolute mess. An absolute mess.
I don't make absolute messes, so stop it.
Alexis says that I should blackmail you with it.
You should blackmail me with it. Hi,
Mm-hmm.
cutie. Oh. So obviously, somebody's wrong because you were wrong because I don't make messes. So what have you got here?
Oh, okay, well,
What are you mistakenly thinking is a mess?
let me get over here through the plumes of smoke.
Wow, everything's working. Wow, what in the world is going on?
Just
That is terrible.
all the nuclears going all at once. This guy is barely delivering anything at once. Sulfur port 1A, target is sulfur port 1B.
Okay.
Okay, where is sulfur port 1B? All ports. No port found. What? Target sulfur port 1B. This is 1A. Port. Target. All ports. Sulfur. Capital S? Oh, duh. PH.
There's 1B down there.
1B is 1,100 meters away.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So now we go to the map. These are just sulfur mines. There. It's going west.
Okay.
It's not going down here. It's going here. But they got to see what you put down here. The abomination that's down here.
Oh, well, come on. That was clear back in the early game. When I had to have sulfur for something else.
Yeah. Well,
So is that what you're calling one of my hidden sins?
yes.
Do you have... Okay. They must have increased the animation for those,
You think so?
yeah, because it never was that bad. So you're launching yourself in the air and you're traveling over to...
I'm hoping to see it before I land.
Um,
Oh, there it is. Look, this is early game. Doc, there are drones. Drones are end game. Okay, so this thing is not outgoing. Yeah. Not getting enough, Doc. It's a minor Mark III on a normal node. Ah, don't you start reminding it, doofus.
Doofus.
There we go. I'll do the easy fix. How about that?
Yeah, that is an easy fix. You gonna be able to fly up that high? Okay, so it's going to this drone port that's up here and going back to the...
Mm-hmm. Back there. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
Whitestone Industry says, early game spaghetti is unavoidable. Don't worry, Doc. I understand. Well, he's being kind.
Of course. My community is kind to me.
Well, Alexa, speaking of being kind, says, people saw that, Doc. They'd take your university class. They couldn't take your university classes serious. So. Oof. Oof.
Yeah.
Zach Bate said, Italy would fear my early game conveyor spaghetti. Yeah. It gets bad early game. No, Doc just doesn't love putting down gigantic flat platforms, and so that whole bit of drones you built, Doc, was all put on the ground.
Yep, they were on the ground.
We have a second industrial storage container full of waste. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. That's why.
So the one keeps on keeping the other one full or something?
Yeah, it means we've made progress, but okay. I should not be running out of sulfur anymore. See, it was a refinery that wasn't connected properly that I fixed. By connecting the refinery properly, the refinery was using more sulfur, and that's what needed the sulfur to be increased. So that we ran out of sulfur because I fixed the refinery problem. So now we fixed the sulfur problem. Now I need to go down and fix the uranium problem because we don't have
Okay.
enough uranium. We have too much uranium waste and not enough uranium. How about that? We need more uranium so we can handle the uranium waste, because that makes sense.
I've got way too many things going on. I've got the electrician coming to attach the electricity. I've got the contractors in the yard working to finish the septic. Oh, come on.
You okay?
I just fell off the platform. That's
You're alright. It's only a 100-foot plunge at the icy depths.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Alexa says, what I found is that fluids don't work as well on server games. More than once I had backed up water even though I packed 600 a minute, packaged 600 a minute and only needed 400 a minute waste. Still the machine backed up.
Interesting. Ah, too far. Come on. Up, up, and out of the water.
So Zach says, Zach Bait, Doc, you sure know your way around logic problems and logistical systems. How about some videos on how to make everything appealing to the eye? Would love to see some architecture with Doc.
Not an architect, not an artist.
So we
So I
kind of,
struggle with that a lot. I mean, it's functional. Okay, it works fine.
what's
Let it
what's
go.
the problem?
Yeah, exactly. What's the problem?
You know, we did experiment a few times with decorations and stuff, and Garrett and I actually recorded a short on that, based on what we did for our Pass It On event. Oh, we lost Doc again a little bit. Okay, we're showing up Doc's sins today. Right here. Here's the biggest sin of them all, Doc.
Oh, my drone port that takes it through the rock?
The drone port in a cave.
Yeah. There
In
it
a
goes.
cave.
And the drone magically appears.
You guys power. I don't.
Ah,
They just shut off my power.
Okay. Okay.
I was in the middle of working on my book and power's gone.
well, Garrett just lost his power to the apartment. And this was just 20 minutes after we were told that they would be doing that. Lovely. Archon says, I maintain they tried to make fluid physics a little too realistic for a game to accurately model. Interesting. They definitely kind of hit that weird, what feels to me to be the kind of that uncanny valley between actually works in the real world and a silly simulation. It feels kind of halfway between to me. So, okay, so the drone is pulling as much as it possibly can every time, so I can't blame that. It's literally, we need more than what this can do.
He literally disconnected you. The wire going to that pole is gone. Robert, your house has no power at the moment
Okay?
because they got to pull a bigger, a heavier gauge wire from that pole to your pole to theirs.
Okay. So the what we asked and confirmed earlier that you're pulling an entirely new one because the old gauge wasn't enough is incorrect. They're just ripping it all down and rebuilding it.
Hopefully, he doesn't turn us off.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so you know, eh. Yay! How you doing, Garrett?
Hi.
We're doing a series on Doc's hidden sins.
Oh,
For example,
a drone.
it
It just goes straight through the wall, right?
yeah, it
It
just
just goes straight through the
It
wall.
just flies directly vertically through the ceiling. Alexa says, "Robert, don't you feel sympathy for Garrett? He has no power."
Yeah.
Oh, no, Cat. You do not. Nope. I do feel sympathy for him, but mostly because I also have no power at my house.
Mhm.
Although I have my computer out here, so.
I mean, yeah. Hey, my computer is completely unusable right now. I had to immediately shut it off. And again, I'm very glad that I have a backup battery because they didn't tell me
No.
that my power was going off.
Just cut it off.
They just cut it. Like, come on.
Alexa asks, Garrett, how's the writing going?
It's going fairly well. I got 3 chapters written yesterday, and I'm working on another 3 today.
Okay.
So things are going. I still don't have Patreon set up as well as I need to, so I forgot to do the administrative work yesterday.
Whoops. But you got that taken care of today?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Today should be the last day of posting 2 chapters a day.
Okay.
And from now on, it'll be a chapter a day until something changes.
Cool. So you fix the story. How, percentage-wise, how far are you into the story? Into book 1,
A
we'll say.
little bit less than a third.
Okay.
I'm guessing that book 1 is going to be around 100 chapters.
Okay. Cool.
And I'm currently writing chapter 37.
Okay. Cool.
Wow, that guy is really uptight. What? We switched to Minecraft now.
Yeah, somebody just texted me. Oh, you tried Minecraft, by the way. So, I switched over because, yes, I've had it been running in the background for a while. Long enough to get my stuff so nothing despawns. Sorry. Garrett and I have been talking. I was doing other stuff until I had to run over here and do this.
Alrighty, so switch back to my screen and I'll
Yeah, go back to your
go my
screen.
But
Oh.
you kind of just left yourself in the middle.
I
of
did. I got distracted. There we go. Go back to Doc. We're going to pretend I'm playing Satisfactory with Doc.
We're gonna pretend. Everybody knows better now.
Look, you guys have known I've been... You know what? I'm not... No excuses. No excuses. I'm putting myself in a little idling perch up here and... Alexa says, I was talking to Robert the other day, and he has a question to ask you, Garrett, about your obsession with bigger and bigger builds.
My obsession with big. I really don't know what you're talking. What do you want to ask me about my obsession with bigger and bigger builds? Nothing. Okay, then.
No, it's Alexa wants to insinuate something. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Anyway,
I mean, I do like big builds. There's a grandeur and scale that, yeah, that you don't get in small things.
agreed. Alexa says you should read up on Dr. Freud.
Oh, no, don't abuse
Oh
me
my
with that.
gosh!
Yeah, Freud was kind of interesting. I had to read a lot of him while I took my
Freud
management classes.
Is way over. Oh, what's the term? Overrated.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Okay,
As in, 90% of the people don't have a single clue what he's saying. And they see something and they pretend they know, or they think they know, but they don't actually understand what he's saying.
I think in the modern day, Freud is more appreciated for the advancements in the field, not for his actual theories, right?
More for his advancements in the field of organizational behavior and individual behavior studies.
Yeah.
His, theories on the origin of man, probably not so much.
And just the fact that the field of psychology exists in large part due to him.
Yeah.
We've just progressed beyond his individual theories.
Yeah. I mean, most of what he believed at the time is just straight up wrong.
Well, I would not say that. His body of work was much, much larger than anything that you're aware of, Garrett.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I haven't actually read any of his stuff. I've just seen the effect of people going in and talking about Freud, and it just creates more problems.
So,
And this goes for a lot of other intellectuals as well, especially in the
Uh-oh.
psychology.
They've run out of names. Look what they're naming him now.
it's just Station 43. Whitestone Industry says, you like big builds and you cannot lie. That only got a minor chuckle out of Garrett. I'm highly disappointed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The joke's been told so many times.
Nah. SNY, we are currently talking to Garrett, if that's the person you're thinking of. And Garrett is my other brother, and he used to join the stream a whole lot more. Nowadays, he's a bit too busy for it, but he likes to come on about once a week if he can make the time for it. So he's just hanging out with us because we have no power at our house.
Yeah.
But
once I kind of stabilize my my work schedule, I'll be here a bit more often.
good. That'll be awesome. Getting a nice buffer with your book, and yeah, that'll be good to have you here again. It helps with the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Adrestea says Garrett's also an AI. Oh my gosh. Look. How dare
Now, the comment isn't worth even discussing because it's just rage bait.
One person says that on YouTube. Alexa says, on another topic, Garrett, I read some of your writing. It's great. Haven't read all the chapters yet, though.
I appreciate it. I as a creator, I'm always concerned about how it's going to come across. Whether some of the creative decisions I've made are going to be appreciated by the people who read it, and stuff like that. You never know until you actually put it out and see if people like it.
Yep. Well, you mind if I link it to them again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is actually what I was about to do when I suffered a rather ignominious defeat at the hands of a zombie. But,
There are no zombies in Satisfactory, Robert. Hate to tell you.
oh, right.
See, if you were playing the game you're supposed to be playing right now, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can verify that he is playing Satisfactory
Uh-huh. See?
and Minecraft
Oh, good.
at the same time. I mean, it's dual boxing taken to a whole new level.
Totally different games. So Garrett and I were talking about, what would be like, if you really were trying to do a real achievement in Dark Souls, because Dark Souls is one of Garrett's favorite games, and we talked about, could we multi-box Dark Souls and beat 2 bosses at once? Even if they have to be from different Dark Souls games. I think the answer was probably not, but maybe.
No. I mean, if you take some of these people who are capable of doing no-hit runs,
Yeah.
maybe they could do it.
Yeah,
That's
maybe.
far beyond my ability.
And Adversary says, Garrett, I gave you a compliment on the short with your voice.
And this is why
Thank you.
younger siblings are met with acts of violence.
Yes. Anyway, here's in my act of benevolence and kindness a link to Garrett's book if you guys would like to check it out. It has Alexa's endorsement, I guess.
Huh? I'm glad Alexa likes it.
So, yep, it's being published chapter at a time on Royal Road. How many chapters are public right now?
It should be
You know what?
24 come 1 o'clock.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which means we're at 25 right now,
We're at 25? Okay.
as of 42 minutes ago. So
Okay.
I guess they're publishing at noon. Maybe the time zones are weird with it.
Perhaps. I might have gotten my specific days wrong. Yesterday was probably actually the last day of 2 per day.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Oh, come on. Land properly. I like the higher powered jetpack fuels, but at the same time, they also have such a high acceleration that they are harder to control sometimes.
Absolutely. I've noticed that.
He says that it's a skill issue. Yeah. It's a skill issue.
Well, you can certainly say that it's a skill issue. At the same time, it being easier is just plain more convenient.
Mm-hmm. How does Freya deal with the dark? Is she okay? Generally?
Oh yeah, she's fine. She's probably a little put out that I left her in her kennel, but
Yeah. So, late at night she gets tired and gets kind of grumbly. And so Garrett and I were playing a board game last night, and every time I looked over her, because she's really protective of Garrett, every time I looked over at her, she just kind of growled a little bit at me, just real discontent and annoyed. And so Garrett puts her in a kennel, and she doesn't growl, doesn't complain, isn't upset, just like, okay, it's bedtime. Just like, okay, fine. You're upset that you're not in bed. But when you get sent to bed, you're perfectly happy. Like, go to bed, you dumb dog.
I mean, interestingly enough, when I'm sitting in my chair and at my desk, and Freya's kennel is right next to my desk, she'll oftentimes just go and she'll ask to go into the kennel. And I'll put her in the kennel and she'll lay down and enjoy being there. The kennel is very much her space.
Cool. And Alexa says, Garrett, you have a gift with words. I'm here struggling with writing my fanfic further than chapter 5 or 6.
I'll let you in on my secret. Use AI.
Wow.
Now, I will say most of the story is written. I write myself, but a lot of times when there's a harder passage that I'm not sure about or that I think is going to be exceptionally difficult, I'll go to AI and say, "Hey, what's your take on it?"
Yeah. And then you'll take that, you'll edit it, and you'll get it to the way you'd say it.
Yeah, get it to the way I'd say
get
it.
it
Get it to my
publishable.
standards.
You get it to publishable.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this is book 3, and the first 2 books, you wrote them both before AI was a thing.
Yeah.
So...
This is the third book I've written, not book 3 in the series.
Correct. Yes, third book you've written. And the first 2 books, both have been longer than this so far, by far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So...
Both were a lot longer than this. Funny enough, each of those I pounded out in about 3 months apiece.
Mm-hmm.
Before, well, the first one, I was really bad at writing for the first one, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of, I just had a huge amount of plot holes that kept on building up until I couldn't continue with the story anymore.
Yeah.
And the second one, work just got in the way.
Yeah, that was disappointing because I really enjoyed your second one. So, yeah, Mr. Caustic says use AI as a tool, though.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just another tool. It's autocorrect, but way better.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say that AI is really good at prose.
But you've had to train it. Don't forget the hours you've put in to get it to do what you want it to do.
So, interestingly enough, I have not been using any of my trained AIs recently.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Why would that be?
Because getting them to the point where they'll do more than what the standard AI will is actually really hard. It is actually really hard. The big thing that I was coming up against is just the memory window. I could not give my AI, the custom AI, enough information to play with. I need something. I need a specific kind of database for the AI to be able to access all the data that it needs to help me work on my story. And that's just plain out of my price range for the moment.
Yep. Gauntlger asks, are those teas you're using, Doc, a blueprint or something the game you gave to you?
They're a blueprint. I just threw down a blueprinter before I started coming out here to make these.
Yeah, those teas are quite nice.
Mm-hmm. And JD Barron says, howdy.
My cat is being overly friendly over here.
And Robert's just sitting around absolutely rinsing through his iodine-infused filters as he's just sitting in full radiation.
Trying to figure out how to fix the power plant issues still?
Bringing more uranium to the.
Really? It was starved for uranium?
Yep. Mm. No, get out of the water, you dumb.
So you're employing another drone?
No! Oh my gosh, Doc.
So you're irradiating a conveyor, huh?
And my own pockets, unfortunately. Because I've had to deconstruct these conveyors a couple of times.
Ouch.
And so my pockets are full of irradiated uranium.
Yeah, it looks like an iodine fused filter lasts about 10 seconds.
I hate server lag. Oh my gosh. Alexa says, well, anyway, Garrett, it's good to hear your voice again. It's been too long.
Well, I'm glad to know that I'm missed.
And they get to hear your voice through a good microphone instead of through Discord.
Yeah, I know, right? We really need to get a cord brought over so I can plug it into my mixer.
Yeah. Okay, we got a question from SNY for Doc.
Okay.
He says, is the world you're playing in multiplayer or is it a single player world?
This is a multiplayer world that is on a server that that Robert and I have built and use here in my studio. So behind me to the left is the server that we're playing on, and we've set it up to be a multiplayer world for Garrett and Robert and myself to play. So.
Yep. And by the way, anybody who owns Satisfactory has access to the server files. So anytime you want, you can spin up a server. So.
Yep. Although this server is specifically designed with Satisfactory specs in mind, so we really aren't planning on ever using this computer for anything else. So.
Yeah. Hologram says, something that's always concerned me with real-world nuclear power. They talk about how clean the energy is, but always ignore the several hundred years of deadly radiation that has to be changed out every 7 to 10 years.
Well, what you don't realize is that most of that material is very, very small. I mean, the amount of physical fuel that they're using is honestly could be held by one person if they could withstand the radiation. And shielding that for an extended period of time actually isn't that hard. You basically just put it into a giant concrete block. Of course, when I say isn't that hard, I'm relative to the issue of actually creating power. But there are a half a dozen different solutions that you can employ for the purpose, and they work out.
Yep. Plus, there are newer nuclear power plants that are powered by the depleted uranium from previous generations. Because they're just that much more efficient. So.
Yep. And I'm not saying that it isn't a concern. It certainly is a concern. It's just a concern that's been addressed by some very smart people.
There we go. Doc, your drone is now irrelevant.
So what did you do?
I drew a line all the way from there to here.
Show me on the screen.
That's your drone line coming from the smoke field. And this is the line that I drew that comes down to here, goes down there, goes. You can see it across there, across the water, goes all the way out to the mine. So,
Are those all pumps on top of foundations?
yeah.
So,
How about that,
I
Garrett?
didn't
got-
know that you could put a pump on
Uh-huh.
foundation.
so okay, so there's another. You played your you got another mine.
No, the same mine.
Are you saying that the drone wasn't carrying carrying what the miner could create?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Ice Man, what do you mean too much spaghetti? Look at this. This is all. It looks perfect.
It's
There's no
organized
spaghetti
spaghetti.
whatsoever. It is perfect. It looks great.
It's restaurant level spaghetti.
Yeah. See, this looks great. Just not this. This. Not this. Just this. This is perfect.
Talking about restaurant level, Robert, you should tell them the pizza I made last night.
So Garrett is on a quest to have ever better pizza.
Okay.
I just messed
Flip
up.
it back to my screen then.
To make ever better pizza. And the change he made last night was, unfortunately, right now we're still using canned sauce. We just don't have tomatoes. We're gonna be planting tomatoes next year, but we're getting tomato sauce. We've added some extra spices, whatever else. Yesterday, Garrett decided to do a bit of a reduction of the sauce on the pizza because it was so thin that there wasn't enough sauce getting on the pizza. You couldn't even taste it. And by just doing a bit of a reduction, first off, made the entire house smell wonderful. But man, that sauce was so much better.
A reduction meaning you boiled it for a period of time to reduce its to
Yes.
enhance its flavor but reduce its quantity.
Exactly. Yep. Oh my gosh.
I ended up using what the equivalent of a half a jar of sauce on that single pizza. After reducing it, and since it's thicker, more sauce just gets on the pizza. So between those two things, I used nearly half a jar on a single pizza.
Interesting.
And afterward, we basically said, no, next time we'll do a little bit less reduction, add a bit more tomato paste.
Yeah,
And then
because
the-
that'll thicken it up as well.
Yeah.
Why didn't you choose just to add more spice?
It was a matter of there not being enough tomato on the pizza.
Okay.
We could have added more spice. We already had added a lot more spice.
Okay.
But yeah, if we had added any more, I'd start to get worried about overpowering the flavor of the actual sauce, which is still the foundation of the pizza.
Yep. Okay.
So,
Very good.
yeah, this has just been something Garrett's just started to pick up and enjoys, you know. So, yeah, this started back when we were in O'Fallon and we had the barbecue, and you decided you wanted to get good at barbecuing pork steaks, and then it became from pork steaks and what was next? Was it just straight to pizza from there? Just meats in general. He's been the barbecue guy in the family for a while now.
Yeah, that's why we keep them all around, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, every holiday it's on me to do the barbecue. I'm happy with that.
Okay. I have some logistics work to do here, but it's 1 o'clock, and I've got a ton of
Oh,
things
no.
going on outside that I've got to go take care of.
Well, Gonogram Garrett, for you, because we're leaving, he says get a dwarf cherry tomato plant, put it next to your kitchen sink window, and as long as it gets enough sun, you'll have tomatoes year round. We could do that. We don't have, unfortunately, the only windows in our house, because we have an old stone house, are going out to our porch, which is covered. But we do have some grow lights, so we'll take a look at that. Ooh. Gino says the best way to start in a good red sauce is use olive oil to brown some garlic, then add the tomatoes over the top.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into creating my own sauce yet. I'm I'm very excited to do so when we have consistent access to the tomatoes for it. For now, I'm just trying to upscale great value brand pizza sauce.
Yeah. Oh man, that pen. Oof.
Yeah, we accidentally made a purchasing error a little while back, and we've got more pizza sauce than than we were ever going to be able to use before. Now, if we're reducing it, we're going to be going through it a whole lot faster.
Donald Grant, we're gonna have to talk about aquaponics after the stream. So, anyway, Doc, back to you.
Alrighty. Well, I have the first station connected to a merger so that I can start the train running this direction. I'll end up starving off the drones and then deleting the drones. So, and I'll just do that one by one as I slowly get all of these connected. It is time to call it a day, unfortunately. So I need to be getting along and go take care of some other business that's outdoors right now. So it's been great. I've had a great time listening to all the banter and the talk, and nice having Garrett here in the office. Unfortunately, it was because his power got cut off, and I hope he saved his document. Or had it at least on a OneDrive so that it was saved incrementally. I hope he didn't lose too much. But anyway, until Thursday when we get back on and do a little bit of Minecraft, we'll look forward to seeing you then. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.